got the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Hey,
look who came to say hello, by the way. There he is. The man post-surgery wanted to thank everybody for their thoughts and concerns. There he is. Elbow Creed in the house. My guy. Just came right up a little while ago. Got in really late last night or early this morning, and there he is, Mr. Post-Surgery himself. Yep. Thank you very much, everyone, he says, here on BDST. The man. That is the man. There you go. All right. How are you? Good morning. That was him. That was him. Join us in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Well, heck, Morris, it's about time, Morris. We missed you yesterday. Hope your internet issues are resolved from the Pete Dye course on New River to the golf outing with my buddies here in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, I'm sorry, Fort Lickerdale. BST is live and online. Thanks, TLB. What'd you think of that guy, huh? He just jumped up here. Yeah, he's got his eyes back. You know, he's got his activity eyes back. Hey, Opal, how are you? Thought you might enjoy that. Hey, Tammy. Yep. Bellboy Kitty was in the house. Hey, Prometheus. What's up, bringer of fire? Appreciate that. He is feeling better. And, when he had the abscess, he couldn't jump up. It's nice to see him jumping up on things like the broadcast table. But, yeah, that's my guy right there. Never planned to have him, but, you know, walk around a corner and you saw what you saw, and he was the only one left. You just kind of have to kind of do your thing. But, whew, folks, I'm struggling this morning. I got in from Williamsburg. I think I probably laid my head down at about 3 a.m. So here we are. So everybody can make fun of me this morning. more than you usually do. Highlanders fell, by the way, to William & Mary, 96-83. Radford still does not have a road win. Hung in there. William & Mary's really good, but just didn't defend well enough when they needed to. William & Mary was able to make adjustments at halftime, and they came out and just attacked the rim, kept going to the back. They used the print. They used the speed up. They're one of the fastest pace of play teams in the country, like number 13 in the country. But they have elements of the Princeton offense. Brian Earl has done a great job there. They had nothing but losing seasons the 3 years before he got there last year, and they won 17 games, and now they're 9-3, and they're going to be a problem in what is now the Colonial Athletic Association. I'm sorry, the Coastal Athletic Association. I said Colonial because we were in Colonial Williamsburg last night. What did I say? Did I not say Morris? Who did I? There's going to be a lot of that, Paul. Yes, I meant Morris. I am Prometheus. I am. I have work to do. We play VMI on Sunday here at home, but it's going to be a while. Yeah, I need to get bedded down for a while. I do, Opal. I do. David Smith's going to join us at 6:30, though. He was at the game last night. It's been a while because of his schedule, so he's going to help pull me through. Will Stewart scheduled from Tech Sideline. Roland Lazenby, the esteemed sports author who just got inducted into the Virginia Hall of Fame, Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, is going to join us. How about that? Mike Ashley, by the way, saw him last night. He is traveling this morning, so he's not on this morning. He sends his apologies. He says, Goober says hey, and we all give Mike a hey to Goober. But Mike wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody. But he is on the road today. And Roland's going to fill in for his spot. You know who Roland Lazenby is. He did the great book on Michael Jordan, did the great book on Jerry West. And he just did the last one that I know was the Magic Johnson biop. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Stephen, good morning. We are in Southwest Virginia. The Joker. Mike Ashley is a great human being. I could not agree more. And the thing about Mike, if we ever do the BDST meetup, he needs to be there because he just takes over the show. I mean, we had a nice, by the way, up in Williamsburg last night, we had a nice, a real nice contingent of Radford fans because, that's a big alumni hub for Radford. Oh, hello. Well, hello, Ian from India. Welcome. We have about 12 or 13 countries represented that have checked in, which is awesome, being on now the worldwide format of YouTube. Mike was up. You could hear like during commercials. I mean, we're sitting, we're down on the floor beside the bench on press row. And Mike, the Radford section is a little too, a little to our right. And it's a big group. And you can just hear Mike. He's controlling the whole area. It was funny. But we understand that he's traveling today. And I believe he's spending Christmas in Texas with his wife's family. But he'll be back. He'll be back next week. Rick, looks like I picked the wrong time to quit amphetamines. Oh, my Lord, do I love the original Airplane movie. Oh, my goodness gracious. TLB, good morning, brother. Calling Coach Ragsdale Marty again for another great 90 minutes. Take a nap. Yeah. How good was that? I'm still getting comments from people that I haven't heard from. They went 90 minutes, and it was just, man, oh, man, it's good. It doesn't matter whether you're a Giles, Spartan, or not. Yet the whole thing just fits in with life. My favorite food, Rudd Ranish, medium rare ribeye steak. But I'm glad everybody got a good look at Balboa. That was cool. He just jumped up right as the intro was going. That was, I think, his way of thanking me. They know, right? Your animals know. Now, I'm telling you, when you have to do that, slice into the abscess, it's not pleasant because you hate to, first of all, I don't care about the mess and what it is, but I hate the distress it causes. But he knew what I was doing. And you know how you know? Like when you're whether it's your dog, cat, and you're trying to fix, and they want to be vicious with you. And I had on these gloves because I knew better. And, he gets the snarl and he was going to, but then as he got ready to bite, he kind of just stopped his mouth and kind of eased it down. Because he knew. He knew. So the Highlanders lose last night. Great road companion, Greg Wolf. We had a great time. Our sports information director for basketball. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Let's get rid of the bots. Boom. Yeah, I have. Chuck-eye steak. Yeah, you name it. If it's steak related, growing up on a farm, we cut it in a lot of ways. A lot of times, my dad, we would slaughter our own, or we would have our own. We would raise our own and have it, slaughtered. And the butcher would make all sorts. We had all sorts of stuff. It's great. It's great stuff. Striker. There's so many good pieces there. I had something on my camera there. There are so many good pieces and parts of airplane. It's hard to, and Leslie Nielsen was always a very serious actor, before that in the 60s and 70s, early 70s. And then he turned into and then, of course, Police Squad. Such a good TV show that went into the Naked Gun movies. Hey, Sarah, I'm glad you're not a bot. Everybody else seems like they're a bot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Poppy is leaving. I'd heard that too, Tebow. Good morning, Tebow. How are you, brother? Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Makes sense. A lot more quarterbacks winning yesterday, and we've been saying this. I think the first big announcement you're going to get from Tech, the next big announcement. I know everybody got excited about the Penn State kids who followed Franklin, but I think when you find out who the portal quarterback's going to be, I think Tech fans going to be very excited. Very, very excited. Very, very, very excited. Thanks for subscribing, Ian. Appreciate that. Very good. Very, very good. Welcome. I won't guarantee my personality is not like that. Ain't bot-like. Prometheus says, my dad's best friend was a butcher. Yeah. He turned us on to Chuck. That's awesome. Perfect balance of fat. It is. It's good, man. It's good stuff. Chuck Eye is great. And a good value, as TLB says. That's right. Hey, I saw that, Paul. I was reading that actually last night on the way home. That was good. Your Christmas curmudgeon poem. That was well done. Yes, Priscilla Presley was outstanding in that movie. Outstanding. But I think, anyway, getting back to what I was going to say, you're going to be very excited, I think, about the quarterback you're going to hear. I think it's going to be somebody pretty major. Just feels like it. Tech's got money, and they know they need that to hit. And, Franklin knows exactly what kind of guy he's looking for. So I think you're going to be excited about whoever that is. So it's going to be a good one, Tebow. I'm with you. Let me thank our sponsors here. Keep the chat going. You gals are keeping me going this morning. Tell you what, I don't recommend 2 hours of sleep for anybody. Family Fencing Studios, they are the sponsor of our studios. Family Fencing. It's not Family Fencing Studios, they're Family Fencing. They sponsor our studios, so therefore, it's the Family Fencing Studios. Jason Green, 540-200-8294. The best in the biz. Appreciate him a whole lot. We love those folks. They were our first sponsor here on the new program. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hunley, thanks to him. If you have a problem, by the way, with your back, your neck, your whatever, go see, man. They've got the latest equipment. I still need to get over there. Mark's going to get mad at me. I need to get over there, and we need to film him shattering my spine in two. Each and every day, we're presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller, I can't thank you enough, and I'm so proud to be someone who grew up in Pulaski County and everything that you're doing. We'll have more stuff next week. I think before the holiday. We'll see. We will see. We have an alternate schedule next week, obviously. Well, thank you, Sarah. It means a lot. We're worlds apart. Don't have a lot to say, but like to listen. Well, thank you. Thank you for thinking I have a big, good voice. I don't feel like I have much voice at all this morning. Little River Heating and Air is 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Go see my guy, Charles Lee. Speaking of folks I appreciate so greatly, they're the best in the biz. Ryan Pry, the attorney in Radford, 701 West Main Street in Radford. Now, he's not the official BDST legal counsel. That's Richie Davis. What happened to the Rams? I was trying to follow it last night on the way home. Apparently, they got screwed on a 2-point conversion. We got to talk about that, Richie. Ryan Pry, the attorney, specializes in trust and estate planning. And the answer is no, by the way, resoundingly. You don't care about the bowl games anymore. That was our question. It was like 85% of you. He's like, nah. Thanks to National Bank, member FDIC, Lara Ramsey, who addressed, by the way, the winter Radford graduates. They've been my bank for 35 years. They're our exclusive banking partner. If you need a bank and you want somebody you can trust, you can't make a better decision than going to National Bank. Great people. Great people. It started with former CEO Brad DiNardo, who I've known a while, and he picks his people well. He handed it off to Lara, and she is the best. So is Travis Williams. Trav, thanks for the text, man. We were traveling all day yesterday. Professional Door Incorporated up in Dublin, residential commercial garage doors. Family owned and operated, 38 years in business. Nobody does anything better than Trav. That whole thing is expanded into a regional and national thing. Ready Set Fund, thanks to Bob Christ, BobChrist11 at gmail.com. Check out Ready Set Fund. You need to raise some money quickly for your event, organization, church group, school group, sports team. They helped $4,000 come into the Floyd County Girls Softball in less than a week. Can't make it up. Now, that's efficiency. That's efficiency. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Thanks to the NRV Super Bowl. 25 years. The weekend's a great time to go check out all the cool stuff they have going. And Top Shelf Apparel. Brandon, thank you for the T-shirts. $20 if you want a T-shirt, $30 if you need it shipped. Harvey's GM in Radford, thank you. You're the best. Brad Harvey. Again, all these folks, what do they have in common? They're all absolutely excellent at what they do. I've either utilized them or I would have no hesitation in any way, shape, or form in utilizing them. I've already utilized several of them. Let's go through the list here. I haven't gotten Family Fencing to do my fencing yet because I haven't decided what I want. I'm going to get them over here for the free consultation. But I've been to the NRV Super Bowl many times. And I haven't experienced what they've done new, obviously with Harvey's, obviously with Little River Heating and Air, Mark Hunley. So good. That's 4 right off the bat. Louise Baker, who sponsors Mike Burnham. I don't mention Louise enough. Every one of them. Outstanding. As are you, best listening audience in radio. But yeah, I got in. I looked over. I always like to look over the clock, laid down. Every time I think about fencing, I think of sword foil. Well, there you go. Hey, do you know what the foil is called? Epi. Yeah, look at me. I'm using fencing terms. It's big fencing sports talk. Sorry, we're consuming mini beverages this morning, trying to stay away. Rick, your eyes look like a West Virginia road map. Not alcohol induced. But, we're missing 2 shows next week because of Christmas. So I didn't want to just not give it a shot. As I'm awake right now, I'm regretting it, but you're helping me get through. William Mary's good. William Mary's good. Radford had an 8-point lead. And early in the game, trailed by 3 at halftime, and in the second half, kind of got away from them a little bit. Then they rallied a couple times. Dennis Parker Jr. is outstanding. He's going to have a massive Power 4 payday next year. I'm just going to say it the way it is. 26 points last night. The follow-up is 53. Sarah says she's hammered. Wow. More power to you. Well, 6:22 Eastern time here in America. Prometheus says I'll be alcohol-induced later at our company Christmas party. Prometheus, do me a favor. Hold up let's do a toast. Do a toast for all the peeps here in the land of BDST. Everybody drunk already? I had no drinking. This is just a long drive back and not much sleep. And a long drive. That was a whole day trip. It's not a bad drive, though. We didn't run into too much traffic. You always worry when you're on 81. When you're driving north, it seems like that's when you have the hiccups. We didn't have but one on the way up. And that wasn't a complete stop. It was just natural stuff. So, anyway. 10:23 where you are. 10:23 p.m. Where are you, Sarah? Wow. So let's see, you're 16 hours ahead of us. Is that right? Is that 16 hours ahead of us? Thank you, Night Elements. Yes, remind people, the bots, to follow community guidelines. We don't want any of the. Of course, I always was told by many people who have a lot of subscribers and many views. What's up, Erica? That the bots are kind of a badge of honor. That means you're bot worthy. Liquid encouragement, Prometheus. That's the fuel for Christmas parties. Australia. I was going to say Australia, Sarah. I'm not going to do. Trust me. I am not going to at all going to do the Australian accent. No, I did not, Erica. Who's getting traded in the NBA? But I will say this now. Each and every show, we're averaging over 700 different IP address viewers. The 2 streams, over 700. How about that? Oh, where's Giannis getting traded to, Erica? Is that official? That is kind of big news. Now, I don't really follow the NBA anymore, but Giannis got traded? Did he really? Let me guess. The NBA set it up to where he's getting traded to a team that they wanted to have to try to salvage some kind of ratings. I don't see that listed anywhere. I don't see that. Did that actually happen, or are you speculating that it's going to happen? He's going to the Lakers? Wow. Well, the league, if that happens, if somebody like that's getting traded to a team like the Lakers, it's kind of like Jokic. I'll take your word for it because I got to be honest, the NBA is not something that I deem worth my time. I just don't care. That league is unwatchable. That is a horrible product that decided several years ago to put its politics above common sense. So I do not really subscribe to the NBA anymore. Now, Roland Lazenby loves the NBA. He's written many, many books on it, but not this guy. Not this guy. Not this fellow. What is this? Let's see here. Hit us up on the Professional Door Incorporated text line. Who won the NBA overall MVP 84, 85? Ooh. I don't like to cheat on trivia questions. 84? That was Bird, right? Bird or Magic. I don't know who sent me the text. I'll say Larry Bird. 85 and 86. He didn't win 3 in a row, so it had to be 3 other people. Magic probably won one. Michael Jordan. No, it was maybe before the Jordan. That was before the Jordan MVP. So I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I'm going to guess Bird is one of them, though. That was during the Bird heyday. Let me know. Or did Bird win them all? I don't know. Maybe he won them all. Did he win 3 in a row? Oh, there it is. He did. Hey, but I was right. It was Bird. Wow, he won 3 in a row. I love Larry Bird. Love him. Paul says, I didn't even know the NFL had a game last night. That's how bad NFL is to me. Very good stuff. Thanks, everybody in chat. You're picking me up this morning. Will Stewart scheduled at 7. Now it's time for a pick-me-up. Oh, it was great. We missed you. What is going on, brother?
Welcome back to me. Huh?
Yeah.
Listen.
Where you been?
Hey, let me tell you. Here, there, and nowhere. Look, first of all, I was thinking about you the whole night last night, man. Let me get this volume turned up a little bit. I was thinking to myself as I got back here to Richmond, where I am now. I just kept thinking about you not going to Richmond.
Yeah, I wish we stopped off in Richmond. That'd be great.
That'd have been all right. That'd have saved you about 3 hours and about 45 minutes for sure, right?
Yeah, we got caught in heavy rain too for a long time.
Yeah. Right as we headed and got back here with sprinkling, and I thought, okay, but I saw that pattern because I watch more weather than I need to. That it was definitely coming from the west, but I've been on that ride, not so much from Williamsburg, but I've been on that ride from University of Richmond. We used to play, and Rick, games used to be at 7:30. Weirdly enough, I don't know why it's at 7:30, and they've gotten smarter now. Pebbles and I were talking about it last night. They've gotten smarter. I mean, in a lot of ways, they've gotten smarter, and that is, I'm not sure how you all do it, but teams eat now at the end of the game, whether it's here's your pizza and you take it with you and you're done, and that way you can get on the bus and go. In our day, caveman days, we all get on the bus and then we go stop and eat, and that would take forever. You know, you're talking a group of 25 pull up to a Burger King that's not interested about 10 o'clock, and you got about a person and a half in there, and you slog through half-done Whoppers, and you're starved because you hadn't eaten since about 3:30.
Yeah, well before the game, right.
So, and that's the whole crew. That's the coaches and everybody, and so on and so forth. So, but now they've got much smarter. You all eat, get on the bus, and that bus doesn't stop until you dock.
That's right.
At the school. So it's gotten so much better. But the Highlanders last night, Rick, I thought that was their. I mean, not that I'm here to unpack college basketball, but that was probably as connected an effort I thought as I've seen from them. I thought the first half there was movement. They were sharing it. William and Murray's good. They're good as heck. They're good.
They're really good. They're
long. They're long at the guard spots. They've got big guys at perimeter. That Princeton concept. I'm so glad to see it. everything's been ball screen and clear outs and all that. No, how about some backdoor cuts? How about some movement that
Princeton
those guys?
Offense.
It's the best. It is the best, and I've been a sucker for that forever. Why? Because when I used to have to play against it drives you nuts. It drives you nuts. It reminds you of triple option football a little bit in that you don't see it enough anymore, and so when you do see it, it drives you nuts. But why not do it? Why not do it? And the big guys could do it, and I thought our guys, just a couple breakdowns in that game, but I saw some things last night that were encouraging. I thought that our guard play wasn't so much I'll take over. It was a lot of good sharing last night, and a couple more makes would have tilted the balance of that. Even when we took their best shot in the second half, it got to 15, got back down to like 7 or 6. We were right there. Yeah. So I was pleased to see that. Good turnout last night, man, and you and Keon obviously did a great job on the broadcast.
Yeah,
so a lot of fun. Always fun for us to be able to go to these metro areas with good alumni base, the Williamsburg 757 area and Northern Virginia and Richmond. We just got to go to those places every year. Play in-state rivals. Got BMI Sunday.
Those are important. Those are so
means a lot to us, Rick. Means a lot to us. With 40 years in Division I or so, we still feel like at times, we got to go. Like some of the schools that don't want to really play us a lot. I'd like to see us get on the schedule with Richmond, George Mason, and a couple of those like we used to do. So a lot of fun last night. Great seeing you all, and on we go.
Yeah, 42 threes though. 69 shots, 42 3-point.
Yeah. It's and here's the other thing about William and Mary too that I noticed. They were coming downhill a lot last night, Rick. They made their decision that they were going to drive the ball, and their pace is ridiculous.
They're huge.
Ridiculous.
Their guard, Chase Lowe, who I called the game when he was a freshman, and last year when he was at Radford, and he came over he was talking to their SID who sat right beside us, and I said, I took off the headset. We're in a commercial break. I took off the headset. I said, Chase, and I just did like the flex. He said, yeah, I've been working. I said, yeah,
he has.
You have. Man. You look great. He goes, I added about 10 pounds, so just muscle. I was like, and he was just lowering his head, knocking people away. I mean, it's like a linebacker in there.
He's going straight downhill, and why not? I mean, that's and our guys, they did all they could. I didn't see anything other than effort across the board. I mean, the guys always try. I mean, they try. They're doing what they're coached to do. And here's the thing, Rick. There were a ton of really good looks that didn't fall last night. And again, to hear you say 42 threes, when I looked at the game, I thought for a while though, Rick, that they were really good looks, like the ball swung.
Yeah.
And a guy had a look, and I thought, okay, fine. Now late in the game or late in the shot clock, you obviously didn't start to get in scramble mode, but a really good effort. Dennis Parker, I think he had 20 after halftime. I think early he was just trying to get going off of a 53-point game, but boy, he got it going, and he's such a competitor. He plays hard, and Brown also. I just love the way those two played, and let's start a good team effort.
We ran into Brian Earl as we were packing up. He was heading to his post game. The head coach at William and Mary. He was concerned when we talked to him in pregame. They hadn't played in 12 days. They got a weird schedule, and now they're off until the 29th. So it's one of those deals where they have like 24 days off and 25.
Ooh.
And I said, Coach, hey, you survived. He goes, Rick, we missed 12 layups. They keep track. He goes, I told you we'd be rusty. 12 layups. And I guess now that I look back at it, he's right. They missed a lot.
He's right. Yeah, and look, Rick, to be on the road, we had a favorable whistle last night. There were a lot of things. There was a lot of things lining up.
4 technicals against one team, and none of them the visiting team.
And that's William and Mary with 4 technicals. You think to yourself, there's a couple teams you and I could name that you would say, I would understand if they got 4 technicals. You would not think that the fine gentleman of William and Mary would have 4 but some of the calls, Rick, I'd never even seen a technical call.
No, I didn't. Yeah, 2 of them we were like that. You got to let that go.
Handing the ball to the guy to get this play started as they were pressing. I don't know if he even warned him. I'm not sure if he even warned him, but I mean, I know there's a letter of the law, but then there's civility too. And
it's dumb.
But again, we had all those options. We had all those opportunities. And so hopefully we'll build on that. And as we get VMI in there on Sunday, I look forward to seeing us try to get that win before we head out on Christmas break.
All right. Well, we haven't talked NFL in a long time because you haven't been here. Well, we've talked about it, but it's not the same. By the way, I'm wearing my my hat.
See it.
That's the all-time. That's the current best record in the NFL.
They are at the top of the heap, brother. Well earned. And listen, when you beat the Patriots, Rick, when you get that, the Packers rather. I'm saying the Packers. I said Patriots, I meant Packers. That was the game that I was watching, and I thought, my guy is sitting somewhere just as skeptical and bothered as he can. That means you. And I'm thinking to myself, they've got to beat the Packers today because you needed to see a home win against a really good team to give yourself a little bit more comfort, if the word is that. And you need to see Bo Nix have an outing against a really good defense. And, of course, Michael Parsons gets hurt in the game, and I hated that for you. But there's a lot to like about your Denver Broncos, Rick. They're sitting at the top of the heap. They're 12-2. They've got more wins than anybody. You're sitting there now along with Seattle, with Seattle's win last night with 12 wins.
What happened, by the way? I didn't see any of it, and I heard Vay is very upset about a 2-point conversion. Later, Sarah. Be safe.
Yeah. Here we go, Rick.
What happened?
So on a 2-point conversion, I came in and turned it on, and Seattle was down 16, made a great comeback to win. Sam Darnold for the win again. So on a 2-point conversion, the pass was thrown from Darnold to the running back, and it was a backward pass. So it's a live football. But on the pass, Rick, the Rams defender hits the ball. The ball goes forward. So the ball is a backward pass, which makes it live. Ball bounces into the end zone. The Rams defender doesn't get the ball. It goes through his hands. So the Seattle running back just comes over and grabs the football because the play is looking like it's dead because everyone thinks it's incomplete. And when he picked the ball up standing in the end zone, well, I did not hear the whistle part of it because that's the part where maybe McVay has a beef. I did not hear the whistle part because I was actually watching 2 shows last night. I had to mute on one. But the play itself, if there was no whistle, would have been a correct 2-point conversion. If McVay say he heard a whistle, then that play should be deemed dead.
Both teams said they thought it was dead, yeah. I saw the highlight. Nobody's even going after the ball. They thought the play was dead.
Correct. And so now that you mentioned that, that's what makes it odd then, because I did not hear the play live because, again, I was on 2 TVs. And so when I saw that happen, I thought to myself, well, I guess it was a lateral, which makes the ball live. And so the last person who picks the ball up, where in the end zone, or if it had been a touchback, had it been a defender picking it up. So the assumption is that in the eyes of the referees that there was no whistle. But if everyone said they heard a whistle, then that's a problem. But nevertheless, that made the game tied instead of 30-28. That changed the dynamics of everything. At that particular point, the Rams was in mode to try to win the game. In Seattle's case, they didn't have to try to scramble. And so that made it 30-all. And then they go overtime, and then the Rams score, make it 37-30. Seattle comes down, scores, goes for two, Rick, at home. What the heck? This is overtime. I'm sure they felt everything was going to give them an opportunity to get it, and Sam Darnold comes through and hits a tight end for the 2-point conversion, walk-off, baby. 38-37, probably the game of the year that you and I didn't see much of, or in your case, any of.
Didn't get to see it, yeah.
And with that win, Seattle moves to the top of the NFC, and they are the first team to clinch a playoff berth. So imagine having to go to Seattle. Seattle's crowd still Seattle's crowd. So imagine having to go up there. And what a job McDonald has done, Rick. There's your Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, youngest coach, I think he's the youngest coach in the league. And they're all in. And Sam Darnold, for the second year in a row, has led a team to a darn near top seed. I mean, I think in the last 2 years, no quarterbacks had more regular season wins than Sam Darnold.
He'll get traded again, or he'll just be left in the dust.
Oh, gosh, Rick. Yeah, well, we still need to see more. And he had an interception or 2 early I was reading or heard about, and that kind of thing. All I know is this. Would you take 12-3, or you take 12-3? Do not apologize for it, because unlike college football, which I love too, unlike college football, this is not a beauty contest. You are what your record says you are. The thing that matters is your record. Who you beat, how many wins you get. There isn't any of these weak wins. Everybody is the same. And so if you're Seattle, you're sitting on top of the world right now in a division that's probably going to have 3 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Tebow's asking how all this affects his Eagles, by the way, the Seahawks win.
Well, the Eagles have 5 losses at this particular time. No, I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm here. Are you there? I am here.
Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you now.
Yep. The Eagles right
good.
now.
We're good.
Yep. Appreciate it. Eagles are sitting third right now, and with 5 losses and 3 games left, with the Rams having 3 losses, Bears got 4 losses, Seahawks got 3 losses, Niners got 4 losses. The Eagles' best chance is obviously going to win the division this weekend because that's a moot point. They've got Washington twice in the last 3 weeks. They should be fine. Their whole thing right now is they're going to have to play 3 games. The key will be how many of them they can get at home. But I think in Philly's case right now, they're resigned to the fact they're going to probably get the first playoff game at home. And assuming they win out, they'll probably end up 12-5, probably end up the 3rd seed in the NFC. Probably they'll get a 6th seed. If that was today, they're probably going to have like the Niners or maybe even the Rams at this particular point. So just the bet that they've made, they've kind of played with their food, to coin a term I've heard a lot, and they're going to probably settle in as a 3 seed. And at this particular point, that's enough for them. They're going to have to play 3 playoff games, hope they can get 2 at home. But it looks like to me right now, there's just something about the Eagles, Rick, I cannot put my finger on. It's just something. Like they're either trying to be too cute or they're just trying to be, or they're tired from all these postseason runs. You know, we talked about the Chiefs earlier this year, Rick. I don't think either one of us felt they had enough to get it back. And as it turns out, you start to go to these playoffs a lot. It's just wears on you. It's just, there's only so much left in this. We saw this with the Patriots. We saw this in the 70s for those of us that are old enough with the Steelers. The Steelers had that run, and then it's over. It's over. Miami was a pretty good team in the 70s, had that run, and then it's over. The only way to sustain it, Rick, is to not, you're not able to do it with a core group in the history of football. You are able to do it with some core players, but the core group has to be broken up. It's just not sustainable. NFL has proven that over the 50 plus years that I've watched it.
Do you think this is something as simple as the team no longer believes in Jalen Hurts? I mean, we see that a lot when the core of a team, as you're mentioning, when they no longer trust the field general, there's some animosity, been a lot of finger pointing. I don't think he's gotten that huddle back. I don't think he's gotten that team back for a year. I know it sounds silly, but they're not playing like a guy who's playing like a team that believes in their quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong.
Something's going on. Something's going on. And at the end of this, there's a lot of times, here's a weird one for you. People want to always call wide receivers divas this and divas that. And I don't know if there's a reason for it, but just put yourself in the position of a receiver. You run about 60 to 65 sprints a game where you're just jetting down the field. And if you've ever played sandlot football or pickup football, if you've ever ran routes and you're open and you don't get the ball, you some kind of way, particularly when you know you've beaten your guy. And for A.J. Brown to constantly be talking about it without really singling out Jalen Hurts, he may be in some ways trying to let you guys know, hey, guys, listen now, this isn't just me. And so a combination of that concepts and then the little bit of rumbling about maybe Jalen wants to have his own agenda, which is really odd. What we don't want is Jalen Hurts to become Russell Wilson, not in the corniness aspect, but in the I think I've got it aspect. Now, I'll defer to him not being that way, Rick. I think you and I are such fans of him. They are winning games. He's never been a super explosive quarterback. He's never been like a Herbert kind of guy who's just throwing it with big arms and all that. He's been a moderate manager of the game while running the football. So he's not going to be that kind of guy. My point is there's something internally in there that just doesn't seem right.
No.
When you got a team with all that talent. The one thing I will say that they've had, a couple of things that have been a little disappointing, is their defense probably, I thought, could have been a little better and picked up some of the slack. But their offensive line was a core of what they did. The core of what they did. And the fact that Saquon's not been able to run the ball as well because they've had injuries on that offensive line, I think that's a big deal too. I think they lost 1 or 2 of their guys in free agency, and I think they've had enough injuries on the front line that caused a lot of problems for the Eagles. They are built by that offensive line, and Rick, I think in the next couple of weeks they should have it pretty good. You got the Commanders twice. And you can't slip on it.
That's 2 wins. You got to win both of those, right?
You got to finish the job, Rick. And because if you think, and listen, they're 9-5, and they've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last couple of years. And yes, there's more rumblings about them than teams that are worse. So heavy is the head, and so we're going to see how they pull this thing through. But I'd be a little bit concerned if I were the Eagles. But maybe they're sitting there trying to be patient as they slog through the last part of the regular season.
All right, so let's get into it a little bit here. The AFC and the NFC, how it's looking right now. We'll start with the AFC because, as we all know, the AFC is far superior.
Yeah, listen, we've always said, and in every newspaper article that you see, when you look at the standings, they always start with the AFC.
That's right.
For whatever reason, at least the ones I've seen. So if we had the playoffs today, your boys would be at the top of this thing, Rick. They would be the 1 seed with a bye and bouncing this thing down the road. Of course, there are no more buys in the NFL.
Thank the Lord.
We are now down. I was going to say it took forever to get.
I hate the buys.
I was seeing teams get buys. I think it was last week. I believe it is. The Niners had a bye. Like, man, it's December and teams have not had a break yet. Can you imagine? Imagine that in college football if you were to go that long and not have a bye. It's insane. So you think about your Broncos are sitting as a 1 seed right now. If the playoffs ended today, they would have a bye. The New England Patriots suffered a tough loss last week, Rick. They were killing the Buffalo Bills. That game was lock, stock, and barrel over. And somehow that guy, and Rick, we're going to have to, I think you and I probably know already, this guy named Josh Allen, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's not
good
bad.
at football.
Yeah.
Like he's all right. And he is a cheat code in the NFL. Not that anybody doesn't know that. He just is willing that football team down the road, and they come back and beat the Patriots, who had been, I think, on a 9-game winning streak. So they suffered a loss. They hadn't lost since, I think, October. So they're sitting at the 2 seed right now in the AFC. And here's one for us that I don't know that we saw coming. About the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, leading that division. They're currently 10-4. They would be sitting at the 3 seed right now. 7-2 in the AFC. That's a pretty darn good record. And by the way, the Heisman Trophy winner's been on the shelf for about a month. People, have you heard Travis Hunter? You have not even forgot he was in the NFL.
Yeah, he's like they got better as soon as he got put on the IR.
Weirdly enough, and sometimes, Rick, that's the fault of either the press or the media or the team wanting to do way more than they need to, just to show that they're smart enough because they got a guy. Just let him in. Just let him integrate himself nicely. The guy that's done real well for them in spot duty, and more than spot duty, is Bashaw Tootin, our Virginia Tech running back. But we knew, Rick, he was
go Hokies.
Well.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I love Bashaw Tootin. Yeah.
Rick, he was so darn good. And I think when we think back to Tech's team last year, when you think of him and you talk about Jalen Lane, had some dudes on that football team last year. And again, there's a lot of reasons why they weren't able to shine much more than that. But there were some pieces there that shined. And so shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at 10-4 right now. They're the 3 seed. And there's the Pittsburgh Steelers. So everybody had Tomlin fired 2 weeks ago when they were 6-6. They had him fired.
They always do, don't they?
Rick, we do this every year.
They always want to fire him.
God, leave that guy alone.
What are we doing?
Thank God Art Rooney, the second, is just he just sits over there and he just goes, thank God I don't listen to you all, because the old saying, if you pay attention to the fans, you'll soon be one of them. And so the Steelers, all they've done is come back and they beat Baltimore last week. And then they come back and they win this last game. They're now 8-6, and they're sitting atop that division. They hold all the tiebreakers. They got 3 games left. They'll close the season out at home against the Ravens. And so I live with a Raven in this house, and so she'll listen to this and she'll be a little irritated at the fact that her Ravens have just been slogging through. Although last Sunday they went to Cincinnati and hammered the Bengals with Joe Burrow 24-0 while we were sitting at the Dedman Center last week watching Coppin State. They handled the Bengals 24-0. So, but in the meanwhile, the Steelers are sitting right there. They're going to probably win that division. Cleveland and Cincinnati aren't putting up much of a fight. And so they're that. And here's another one, Rick, and we knew this would happen. The 5 seed is the dangerous LA Chargers. They're the LA Chargers. Harbaugh has come in there. This is year 2.
Yeah.
And Rick, they're a frightening team. That's a team I'd probably be more worried about if I were you than anybody.
They're better than the Broncos. I'll just say right now, I think the Chargers are better than the Broncos.
They're scary. That doesn't mean they'll win, to your point, Rick, But if you were to take both rosters, I would understand why you would feel that way. I still like your defense. The Chargers, and this is what the Chargers beat up. Remember, they lost offensive linemen early in the season.
I know. They've lost.
But he doesn't complain. No. He just loads them up. They're 10-4. He's got a quarter. Jim Harbaugh does this everywhere he goes. The same football team that was sitting there in your division. As soon as he came in, I'm sure, because you're a smart enough guy to know.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah,
that's a guy you knew was going to be a problem.
I hung my head like, oh.
Not the Chargers. You're like, I'm trying to get these Chiefs.
Can we go somewhere else? Yeah, don't go to the AFC West. Come on, man.
Everybody's messing with my man Rick. But here's the deal. He knew. You know why he came? He had a quarterback, brother. He had a quarterback.
Yeah, and he loves that area. Yeah.
The most important position in sports, besides pitching and baseball, to me, is the quarterback position in football.
There's no question.
You cannot win jack without one. I dare you these days to do it. These aren't the Trent Dilfer days that won.
They're the fluky days, right?
Nope, that's over. You got to have a force multiplier now. College, high school, NFL. I dare you find a team that can win without it. I don't even care if you have a great defense now. Your defense can't even be that great with the rules these days. You can't even impose that level, because the Houston Texans right now has the best defense in the league, and they're not going to win if C.J. Stroud's terrible. They were winning when Davis Mills was coming in and making plays, because you still got to convert. You still got to get first downs, and teams are going to make you one-dimensional if they find you can't.
Tebow's right, by the way, in chat. Tebow says, Houston, you better watch out. Houston, they're coming like a locomotive, man. They're not being subtle. They're not knocking on doors. They're just saying, you know what? We're going to just push them right down. Yeah, kick them.
I would even say they're kicking them in. And talking about and they're the 7th seed right now, and they would be in over the Colts, over the Ravens, and of course the Chiefs are out. Yeah. But the Buffalo Bills are sitting at 6. And when you talk about the Texans, if the playoffs started today, they would be at New England. How comfortable are you if you New England having to deal with them?
You're going to lose the game. Yeah,
I don't think you're going to win that football game.
You're not winning the football game.
You better hope it's snow or something, that because the Houston's an indoor team.
Yeah, don't let them be indoors. Yeah.
And a lot of that. And so, Rick, you're talking about the Jaguars would host the Buffalo Bills and the Steelers would host the Chargers. That's some opening week of playoff games if it stays like it is right now. And interestingly enough, and then we'll go to the NFC, there are only 9 teams left for 7 spots that are eligible for the playoffs. The 2 teams that are on the outside looking in are the Colts and the Ravens. Those are the only teams left to get in the AFC. All the other top spots, all the other teams, 10 through 16, are out, including the Titans and the Raiders. I guess they're all vying for the number 1 pick the way it sounds right now.
All right, let's get to the NFC here before our picks. What we got?
In the NFC, before last night, the Rams were at the top of the heap, but not so fast, my friend. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks are sitting at the top of the heap right now. Got to give them a lot of credit for what they did last night, Rick. Again, if nothing else, you got to give Sam Darnold credit for his perseverance. He doesn't get too deterred on this thing at all.
No, he does not.
What's so funny is every time people want to write him off, he just simply says, I dare you, because I'm going to prove you right. I'm a believer. I'm not going to write him off anymore. He ain't going to make me look like a fool out there. He just isn't. And when I think about what he's been through, I think 5 teams, Rick, I believe it is. And probably the best thing that happened for him was when he went to go to San Francisco and got a little of that Shanahan tutelage, because it seems like to me that has resurrected his career. Seattle's sitting at number 1 right now. The Bears are the 2 seed right now. Caleb Williams, Rick, say it out loud with me, because I know you're a Daniels guy, but you got to give Caleb some love. They're sitting at the 2 seed right now. They're 10-4. The Eagles are at 3 at 9-5. The aforementioned Eagles, if the playoffs ended today, they would host a 6 seed, San Francisco 49ers. Tampa Bay is at 4. And by the way, and they are leaking badly. You and I talked about our boy Todd Bowles a couple weeks ago, and we must have jinxed him because we said, you never hear anything from Tampa. He's just as mild-mannered as he want to be. And then last Thursday night when they lost to, I think, Atlanta after blowing a 2-touchdown lead, was that Atlanta at home? I think it was. He went nuclear on his boys. He went nuclear in the press and ripped them to shreds wearing the Dreamsicle hoodie. That seemed really weird, but he got that done. The Rams right now have fallen out of first place. They would be the 5 seed. They would be on the road, actually at Tampa if the playoffs ended today, and at 6 and at 7. The San Francisco 49ers, who are beat up like nobody's business. I feel like I say that every year. They're 10-4. They're 10-4. The quarterback's been in and out. They lost Fred Warner earlier in the year. They lost Bosa. They're still 10-4 with the 8-2 conference record. And the Green Bay Packers had a tough loss with you guys the other day. They're at the 7th seed right now, 8, 9, and 10. The Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers are battling their behind off right now to try to get that division win with Tampa Bay. They had a chance last week to move in the first place, and then they go down to New Orleans and lose. So Carolina had a chance as a local team. We kind of root for them. They could have been in first place over Tampa, but they messed around and let the Saints find a way to beat them. So there are your top 7 teams if the playoffs ended today in the National Football League, brother.
All right, well, let's get to our picks. We haven't done this in a while. It's been a long time since we've had picks.
Well, we haven't done them in a while. I don't even want to tell you how bad we were last time, but I should. I think if my numbers serve me right, Rick, you were 0-5. I was 2-3. We stunk, but
that's
overall,
not good. That's not good.
Overall, you're at 500. You're 25-25. I'm 27-23. So I'm 2 games up, and here we are, week number 16. We will start with the 2 Saturday football games. We got the Packers and the Bears tomorrow at 8:20 at Chicago. Green Bay and Chicago. That's a huge game for a Saturday with all these college playoffs on. I don't know. Better get the remote right and the multi-screen going. Packers at Bears Saturday night at 8:20. Who do you like?
Yeah, the Packers, they just lost their best defensive player. I don't know, man. That was such a fluky ACL tear for Micah Parsons.
And you knew right away, didn't you, Rick?
Yeah, it's never anything like, oh, he'll be okay. Every time you see something with a knee, it's the worst news possible. Every time. It's ridiculous.
And especially when that player goes, ouch, and picks his knee up off the ground and grabs it. You can tell it's bad. So we hate that for him. Yeah. So
Packers are good. Packers are really good. They're really, really good. They have a great offense. I'm going to go with Green Bay on the road against Chicago.
Wow. I'm going to take Chicago because they haven't done it in a while. So we'll throw one out there and see what happens. Patriots are at the Ravens 1:00 on CBS on Sunday. Ravens need it like nobody's business. They haven't been great at home. They're coming off of a 24-0 win against the Bengals. Maybe their defense is back. I like the Ravens.
I'm going to go New England. I know they blew one. We'll see. This is going to be a big test for Mike Vrabel's team. How do they bounce back in a tough place to play? Not easy to win there, but we'll see. I know they're a better team right now than Baltimore, but we'll see if that plays in on Sunday.
Yeah, better team doesn't always win, but I couldn't agree with you more other than I'm taking the Ravens because they desperately need it. They cannot lose at home and go 7.
Sure.
That would stink, we would think. Chargers are at the Cowboys. Cowboys are with that 1% chance to be in the play. They're done, by the way. Chargers are at the Cowboys. Will they show up and play well in the game? I say no. I take the Chargers in that one.
Yeah, I do too. Jim Harbaugh's been really good on the road in big games too. So I'm going with the Chargers. Yeah.
Steelers are at the Lions. Lions haven't been quite themselves. They've had a couple tough losses. They're home. Steelers are needing to kind of keep pace, to keep the division. There's some really interesting football games. A 4:25 CBS game on Sunday after our VMI game, one you can go home and watch. Who do you like?
That's right. Aaron Rodgers always plays well in Detroit. It was with the Packers, but I'm going to go Detroit. They're just the better team overall, I think. So.
Yeah, I'm a Tomlin guy like you as a fan. I'm going to go with Detroit too. And then the final game, Niners are at the Colts. Colts have been leaking so badly. I mean, we got Phillip Rivers. We didn't even talk about Grandpa out there slinging the ball around. That's also a 4:25 game. I think I just feel like the Niners right now are needing to keep pace. I feel like they'll go on the road and get that one, Rick. Who do you like in that one?
Agreed. Look, it's a real. We'll have to get into this. We could talk. We can do a whole segment on how much of an indictment in the NFL it is that a 45-year-old can get off the couch, and they almost won in Seattle last week.
That's right.
Team that won last night, to put a stranglehold on the NFC. I'm going with the Niners. Yeah.
I agree with you, Rick. I was talking to Pebbles, and I said, what must you feel like if you were the backup? And all of a sudden, they bring a guy from 5 years, and off the bench to kind of do the very thing you've been trying to get him to do since July. So anyway,
absolutely.
I'm with you. I take the Niners and that wraps up week 16 on our picks, and we'll see what's happening moving forward, my good brother.
Well, brother, listen, great to have you back, man. Let's don't do this anymore without you.
No. I love the slot, man. I think this might be one we settle into, and I hope to be able to squeeze one in next week with you if you could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be doing Monday and Tuesday. Won't be doing Wednesday and Thursday. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Look to hear from me, brother. You got it.
All right, brother. Stay safe. I guess I'll see you Sunday, though, right? You guys.
I'll be there. Yep. See you at the Deadman. You got it.
All right, man. All right, brother. Take care, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, David Smith. Missed that, man. That's the best analysis you're going to get on the NFL bar everyone. Seriously, that's just good stuff. Nobody researches it more than David. Appreciate that. Helping me through this morning on 2 hours of sleep. Roland Lazenby, the esteemed author, joins us here in about half an hour. Mike Ashley is traveling. I believe Mike is traveling to Texas. Saw him last night, but I think he's on the road today. And then Jen the Gamecock Girl. We're hoping she's still at Holly's. Joining us now on the program, there he is. He's Will Stewart. Operator, curator of Tech Sideline. What's up, man? How are you?
Checking out my look. Everybody be glad to see the bottles.
Hey, you got how much fun was that? You got so many people in chat were like, "What's going on?" I mean, where's his Diet Mountain Dew? You caused a national problem with that. But
so Jen's in Chicago this week, right? Is that where she is?
Yeah, who knows? I guess.
She sent me a picture of some drink cooler at the hotel she's staying at. It had Diet Mountain Dew in it.
So you're getting pictures from Jen. So now you're the new picture boy. Okay, it makes sense.
I'm getting pictures of Diet Mountain Dew, right? I'm not getting pictures of Jen.
None of us are anymore. It's very disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. But we'll
Did
yell
she
at
get
her.
Fat on us or something? Is she like insecure?
No, I just think she feels like she's above us. That's the only thing I can think of. That's what it feels like.
Man, that's mean, Rick.
I know. Well, how you been?
So
everybody good? Huh?
Yeah. The kids are coming home Monday. Well, my daughter lives with us, but the boys are coming home on. One of them's coming home on Monday, and I think the other one will come home on Monday as well. And you know, we got the room for them here at the house, and we got the Wii, and we'll have fun. But generally, after about 4 or 5 days, they get a little antsy to head back to where they live.
Yeah, my son's already antsy.
Yeah, my oldest has a couple of cats that he's like, man, you can't go more than about 3 or 4 days on those litter boxes. And it's like, well, actually, you should change them every day there, dude. Clean them every day.
Well, what's going on in Hokie Land? Update us on what's going on. Oh, take us through. You were there. Many people wanted me to ask you about your podcast with Jay Pearson. Because I asked Andy. Andy said, well, I hadn't seen it yet. So we had to wait. He said, just be sure to ask Will tomorrow. I said, okay, cool. So tell me about what did we learn from Jay Pearson?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because I host a podcast every once in a while. You know, depends upon who the guest is. And I'll probably host 4 or 5 podcasts a year. And every time I host a podcast, after it's over, I think to myself, oh man, that wasn't very good. And then I go back and watch it, and then you get the feedback from the fans. And I checked it right before coming on with you, and it's got over 6,000 views in a little bit over a day, maybe a day and a half. And then those are pretty good numbers. And excuse me. Turns out everybody thinks it's really good. So one of the things that happens is a lot of what we asked Jay, we already knew the answers to it. You know, you're just
of course
bringing it out. You know how that's how that works. You're just bringing it out of the interview subject. And we actually did not cover the hiring in James Franklin because that's been covered. We talked about the future of Virginia Tech athletics. We talked about funding for NIL. Is that sustainable moving forward? Jay is going to be on a committee, one of 2 committees that are going to kind of tie things up between the university and athletics in a way that's never been done before. There we go. You know, there's never been a strong formal link between the university and athletics. At times in the past, there's been a link, a strong personal link. Like, pretty sure you and I have talked about this. I did a series on when Virginia Tech was thrown on probation back in the 80s. Yeah. And back then, school president Bill Lavery and AD Bill Dooley, they were tight personally with each other. So Lavery he knew what was going on in athletics, and I'm not saying he knew the bad stuff that was going on. He was just, he had a presence and he cared about athletics. And that's one of the things that's been lost over the years, or never really been in place at Virginia Tech. So anyway, Jay's going to be on one of a couple of committees that are going to provide oversight. The way Jay phrased it was, they've committed, and Jay was part of this effort too. They've committed an extra $229 million to athletics over the course of the next 4 years, I think were the numbers. And Jay said, the committee that I'm on, our job is to make sure that money is applied and is applied properly. So we talked some about that, and he knows he's going to be on the committee, and I didn't ask him who else is going to be on it. It's still an idea that's kind of taken shape. He said that they are, of course, they've got funding for NIL, the big NIL commitment with James Franklin. They've got funding for that for next year, and he feels good about being able to maintain it, extending forward from there. What else do we talk about? We talked about the P2, the Power 2, the future of college athletics. And he, of course, is. Jay's a positive guy by nature, and he said they're doing everything they can to position themselves to be part of that future of college athletics. So what are your thoughts on that part of it before we head on?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, I know, like you said, you knew some of the things he would want to talk about and highlight for Tech fans, now that the whole coaching thing is over. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Did it come up about, I guess, the money that they received, the $20 million? There's rumors of a couple more large donations going to be coming down the pipe here soon. I mean, did he talk about how they feel really good about what was that ask? 229 total they need over the span or something like that?
229, yep.
229?
4 years, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're off to a good start.
Yeah, isn't it funny? That's the biggest donation ever received by Virginia Tech athletics. I don't know if it's unrestricted. I don't know much about it. People keep asking me, surely you know who donated that? And actually, no, I don't. Have not heard. They've had anonymous donors before, and I've known who they were, like the people who donated $15 million to build the Student Athlete Performance Center, the fancy cafeteria that they've got. Those people are anonymous, but I know who they are. But this go around, I don't know who this $20 million is. And the instant it was donated, it's this awful thing where it's the biggest donation in the history of Virginia Tech athletics, and that's great. And it's like 1 year of NIL or 1 year of rev share.
Correct.
And that's it.
Correct.
And it gets swallowed up immediately. And it used to be that when you got a $20 million donation like that, you built a building with it. It was applied towards a capital project, and you got a thing that was built and was there forever. And now you're getting 20 million in 1 year, and it's just to feed the machine, And
I know. I know.
It's and I know the way that sounds. It sounds like, oh man, 20 million, so what? But that's just the nature of it these days. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think? Because people talk about the future of college athletics being the B2, being the P2, being the Big Ten and the SEC. But there's an opinion out there that whatever the future of college athletics is, there are certain schools that the Big Ten and the SEC are not taking with them. Schools like Mississippi State. I think Rutgers could be a casualty of that. Maryland. What are your thoughts on what way that's going to head? Because I'm sure you talk to a lot of people who have opinions on that.
I believe in 3 years now, we're going to see it start to materialize. I think, and Coach Elmo is on to something that I think they're anticipating in the SEC and the Big Ten. You're going to see the network breakaway, however it looks. 64 teams, 32 will be the Disney side, 32 will be the Fox, NBC, et al. side. And they're going to have divisions broken up amongst those 32 on each side. However, that's going to look 4 8-team divisions, whatever. And I think that's going to be your final tally, how that's going to work. It's all going to be controlled by the networks because those negotiations I know are going on right now. It's all about ESPN. Well, it's all about Disney. Let's go higher. It's all about BlackRock and Vanguard. It's all about Disney. And Fox and the Big Ten are going to have their network. I believe that's exactly the way it's going to go, because the only way to maintain any of these just ridiculous, you just talked about the ridiculous cost of doing business, it's not sustainable. I know Andy Bitter says, hey, they're always going to find the money. That's when I was like, no, that's not the case. It's not sustainable the way it is. So I think that network money in this next contract is going to be huge. It's the second most watched sport in America. Bar none. It's not even close. And these networks are going to control how it's going to look. The money, that's what's going to control it. Kind of like the NFL's controlled right now by their TV networks. I mean, that's what it is. So I think it's going to be the same thing. I really do. What do you think? Did we lose Will?
Well, I think, can you hear and see me right now? Because you were breaking up on me.
Yeah, you froze a little bit there, but you're okay now. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know that 64 teams, like if you go to 64 teams, there's a ton of teams in there that don't add any value. Television value. Let's call it what it is. Television value.
Television value. Right.
It's possible. See, I think it's going to be more like 40, 44, 48.
It could be. It could be.
48 is a number that, it's, if you go to 64, then what you're doing there is you're trying to bypass all the lawsuits that are going to happen.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's interesting that Elmo thinks that. I don't know, who he talks to, or if that's just a well-formed theory from, following college athletics like he does. So, Jay was just making the point that, and I agree with this. I remember in the lead up to the 2024 football season, Virginia Tech had ended 2023 really strong, and they were very optimistic about 2024. They'd built a really good roster. And a lot of the discussion at the time was, we need to have a good football season now to be able to be positioned for the P2. Because if you remember, Florida State was suing the ACC at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of turmoil in the immediate sense. And so there was a lot of concern, and everybody felt like Virginia Tech having a winning football season was going to make a difference. No, to me, that's not what it's about. It's about institutional support in general. Are you wearing big boy pants? Are you applying a lot of money to it? Do you want to be a big time program? And the efforts Virginia Tech has made with the very public announcement of increasing funding for athletics and the hiring of James Franklin, which is the best hire of the offseason. Once all the hires are done and the grades come out, and I actually need to go and see if anybody's written articles grading all the hires, Franklin's going to be at the top, just like Fuente was back in 2016. So Virginia Tech just looks like they're serious about college football again. And I think that's more important than winning games in the short term, winning 10 games as opposed to 8 and that kind of thing. So, Jay talked about some of that, about just positioning for the P2. And he also said that he brought up the topic of AAU membership. Now, you know what AAU membership is, right? And you've talked to your listeners about that. So
yeah,
tell people what that is.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That has shaped, it's hard to believe that something that starts out at such a lower level has shaped the business model, right? It just seems like the AAU circuit.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I'm talking about the AAU, which is, now I'm going to have to go look it up and see what it actually says.
Oh, I thought you meant the regular AAU.
AAU. I'm talking about the consortium that all of the Big Ten schools are in.
Oh, you mean
So
like
let me do my
when they
research on
add
that.
schools, the AAU, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I would have to look it up too. Yeah, when they take schools through and they have to pass the AAU to get through the presidents and all those things. So it is the
So
Association of American Universities, that AAU. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
a prestigious group of 71 leading research universities
I
in the
was
U.S.
thinking
and
something
Canada.
else.
Well, that's okay. That's why
I'm
we're
working
having
on
the
2
discussion.
hours of sleep. I'm working on 2 hours of sleep. I had the wrong AAU. So yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
about that. You're talking about that Association of American Universities. Yeah.
and the Big Ten has said in the past that in order to be in the Big Ten, you got to be in the AAU. And
You got to
Virginia
be
Tech
an
is not,
AAU school, right?
and Virginia Tech is not an AAU member. But Jay brought that up, and he, he didn't make any predictions or anything like that. He just feels like Virginia Tech is very well positioned. A big part of the AAU is how much money, how many research dollars are you applying towards various projects, and he says Virginia Tech is very compatible, and that doesn't get talked about a lot. And frankly, Rick, I think if the Big Ten, wanted Notre Dame and Notre Dame wasn't in the AAU, I don't think that's going to stop them, man. They're going to take them. In the past, they've said you got to be in the AAU, but I just don't know if they're going to hold to that in the future. So Jay spoke about that, and I think that's pretty much everything he covered. It's a pretty good interview. It's only half hour long, so go check it out on our YouTube channel or Spotify. It's podcast number 461. So yeah, that was a little bit of work I did this week.
Most peeps think it'll be like 48 teams, kind of like what you were saying. It could be. It could be. You could have 24 in each. Absolutely. You split it up that way. We'll see. But I think the lawsuit thing scares a lot of these folks because, man, it's going to be tough to tell a team you're out when you haven't done anything. I don't know. It's so much speculation because we've had such little leadership. Will, we don't know who's going to take charge of any of this other than the TV networks. And that's
other than ESPN and ABC.
Correct. And Fox. Yeah, 100%. That's where it's going to be. Hey, people are asking why. A lot of people are asking why do you believe James Franklin has shut off all access in the chat?
I don't believe it. I know it. No. I actually, it's interesting you bring that up because that's something I wanted to talk about today. I haven't reached out yet to any Penn State writers who covered the Franklin era at Penn State. He was there 12, 13 years. And I really need to reach out to some of those guys and ask them, how's this going to go? Because I think Andy Bitter knows. He knows from talking to people in the industry that, Frank ran a really open program. Fuente ran a fairly open program. Things got a little bit more closed off under Pry because Pry brought people with him from Penn State who kind of applied the James Franklin model. But from what we hear, he ain't seen nothing yet. They're already locking down Merriman. And I wonder, the media is invited to watch the beginning of, say, during the spring and during the fall, like one football practice a week. So you do go down there and you roam around the indoor practice facility and you don't get to see anything of any value, but everybody is gathered there and you have conversations and you get to actually see looking around in a boot and who's not and that kind of thing. So I think that is going to cease to exist. And man, I just don't, I got 4 guys that work for me, Rick, and they're in the business of providing content. And I think that, Franklin's group is going to be pretty well closed off, and that's going to get difficult to do. And that takes its biggest toll on Andy Bitter because Andy is our football beat writer, So it's this difficult thing where, and I know what the fans say. The fans are like, who cares? Just go win football games. And I'm like, well, I care. I got to pay bills. I got to keep subscribers. I got to provide coverage, and my guys need work to do. So I think I'll have more information for you at a future date, but I don't like the way it's shaping up. I think he's going to be a very much walled off guy who very much controls the message.
Oh yeah. And finally, The other big question, I had it yesterday for you too. When is Tech going to start announcing coaching changes that's been reported by others, not local people, but been reported by some of the regional and national media? When do you think Tech's going to finally have releases about all that?
So that's an example of lack of information from the program. And so there's a couple things. You're not going to hear about it until the entire staff is put together, is my expectation. I think that maybe Franklin himself is the one who's been telling these national media guys.
He is, yeah.
You know, it's not telling us local guys. We're not hearing a thing about it until we see it on, Brett McMurphy's feed or whoever it is that Franklin's tight with. So that's an example of lack of information. And one thing to watch is when they finally do announce the coaching staff, probably all at once, are they going to provide any access to them? Is there going to be a press opportunity? Are we going to be able to go to a press conference and talk to these guys? Because you and I, in our group text with Jen the other day, Shane Beamer hired 3 new coaches, right? And he put them all in front of the media. Didn't he have a press conference?
I'm pretty sure he had them right out there. I've been told Franklin will not allow any coaches to do anything unless he signs off on it. So,
yeah, and you remember back when I remember way back in 2012 when Frank Beamer actually changed some of his coaching staff. He hired a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, and there was a third coach. I don't remember. Frank did that thing of he had a press conference, announced them, sat them all down in front of the press, and let the press talk to him. And I don't know that you're going to see that here. So that's kind of I think that's the Al Groh, Bill Parcells model where they control the message. They're the only people that get to talk to the media. And I think Andy Bitter's head is probably going to explode at some point.
Yeah,
so.
You could sense it yesterday. You could sense it. Yeah, you could sense that he's but and I never considered that he'd ever be on this program. I'd already just written it off. But I just remember going back in the day, the first radio show, the access you talked about. This is a Hall of Fame coach. He just turned everything around the New River Valley. Frank Beamer. I would go over and his longtime secretary, be like, "Oh, hey, Rick, hey, coach isn't in there." His office would be wide open. Coach hasn't gotten back yet from whatever. Just go ahead and just take a seat. Just get in there. And I'd go sit in Coach Beamer's office. And I'm sitting there waiting on him to come in. Hey, Rick. And then we'd get to it. He'd and I'm thinking, wow. And I'm not saying, hey, woe is me. I'm not going to have access. I just think it's very interesting that you have somebody that's come in here immediately and decided to do that and shut down local people, because you have a guy who, I know he was already established, but anytime Frank Beamer could have been that guy too. He could have just said, no, I've done all I need to do with you guys. Leave me alone. But he was never like that. So
no, he wasn't. And I thought there was a telling moment in James Franklin's introductory press conference where he's sitting there and Travis Wells, who is basically the football SID.
Yeah.
There was a moment where Franklin went to refer to Travis, and he paused and he kind of got a look on his face, and Whit goes, Travis. Whit Babcock fed James Franklin Travis Wells' name during the opening introductory press conference. So that tells you that Franklin had not met Travis. Travis was not part of anything at any point. And I don't know what normal protocol when you're hiring a coach is, but I suspect Travis's job is about to get really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad. These SIDs, their jobs are very difficult because their job has changed. And they're not even called SIDs anymore. They're called strategic communication.
Yeah, athletics, communication. Yeah.
So SID is Sports Information Director. It was their job to provide information and set up interviews and all that stuff. And these days, football programs tell those SIDs what they're allowed to say. It's a very frustrating job because you've got the media on one side and you've got, Andy Bitter's not old. Andy's like mid-40s, but he's old school in that he's trained media and he expects certain things out of an SID. And SIDs don't provide that stuff anymore, Rick. They get told what to say when, and it's not very much. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So that's we'll have to figure out some other stuff for Andy to do, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, man, great stuff as always. You should stick around if you're bored this morning. We've got a great guest lined up right after you. Mike Ashley's traveling, and can't think of a better substitute than Roland Lazenby, who's going to join us here in just a second. But it's good to see you, man. Hey, have a good Christmas. I'm sure we'll share text, but we won't be doing the show next Wednesday or Thursday. But we'll have I hope you and your fam have a great Christmas, and I hope you get a lot of omnibuses.
I already know I'm getting about 3 because, I put them on my Amazon wish list, and then when the kids order them for me, I get the emails. So I already know what's coming.
Yeah.
So, Merry Christmas to you. Now, programming note, I will not be on next Friday.
Sure. No problem. Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah. No worries.
So you could patch together greatest hits from the football season.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something next Friday. Yeah. Peeps are saying Peeps are saying Merry Christmas, and thanks for all you do on Tech Sideline. So there you go.
Appreciate that, y'all. Thanks for the support, and thanks for having me on, Rick, and Merry Christmas to you and your son.
Thanks, brother. And we'll see you. I'm sure we'll talk this weekend during the playoffs. I'm sure we'll all be texting.
Yes, we will. All right, man. Sounds good.
All
Thanks.
right, brother. Be good, man. Will Stewart from Tech Sideline. That's good info from Will. Really good info. Good stuff. Jen will join us coming up in about half an hour as we roll along here on this Finally Friday edition. I'm very excited because joining us now is that gentleman, the esteemed author. By the way, he's now a member of the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. He is Roland Lazenby. Roland, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the new format here on BDST. How are you, my friend? Oh, we have no audio. Hang on. Uh-oh. We can't hear you. Wait a minute. Is that us or it's... Hang on for just a second. You checking for the audio. You look great, by the way. He can hear me, I know. Nothing? We got no microphone from him. Let me, you know what I can do? Let me send you another invite. Oh, now it's muted. It says you're there, yeah. Tell you what, let me see. I don't control that. Yeah. Hey, Roland, I'm going to kick out if you can hear. You can hear me, though, right? You've got me. I'm going to kick you out and send you another invite. Let's see if that fixes it here. All right. Hang on here. All right. Well, I hope that gets rectified. He looked great, did Roland. And he got in, so I know the link worked, but sometimes those links need to be resent. They only last for about half an hour until you get on there, and then they disappear. So I'm sending Roland another one here. All right. Yeah, it was like as soon as the other guest leaves, the audio gets cut off. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is. I got to look into that. I do have somebody at StreamYard that I can send a message to. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's right after somebody jumps off, so I have to send another invite. Maybe I'll start sending invites after the other guest is gone. But he'll get the invite and he'll jump back in. And we'll see how that works. Hope everybody's doing okay on a Friday edition. We got what? Alabama and Oklahoma tonight, and then 3 games tomorrow in the playoff. And we'll all fall victim of it. You know, we hate the system. We don't like the way things are, but we'll all be watching tonight. We'll all be watching Bama and Sooner Schooner tonight. All right, let's try this again and hope it works. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Hey, there it is. So now we figured it out. For some reason, it's not you at all, Roland. It's happened all week. When Marty Smith, when they jumped off the other day, it's like something messes up the link. So I'm going to wait and start sending the invites when the other guests are done. But good morning, my friend. And again, you look great. Congratulations on the honor.
Yeah.
Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. Wow.
I really enjoyed that previous segment, and I trust everything you say, Rick, until you said I look great. But I feel great. I'm in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. It's a miracle we got this stuff patched together today. So great to talk to you.
Well, it's great to see you. And it's been too long, and I decided to take ownership of the show. Wes Durham and Bill Roth and Dave Hunsall said, just take the show, get it off radio, do your own thing. YouTube's the way, and took some time off, and now here we are. And it's great to have you part of it. You're always such a major part of the radio show. So thank you for following us over. And when did you get the news, my friend, about the Hall of Fame?
I got it in a Zoom about 2-3 weeks ago. I went and threw up twice.
Just twice?
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I'm in the Virginia Military Institute Hall of Fame, and I played football there as a walk-on. And so I'm just some guy, as I told Mark Berman, I'm just some guy writing about sports. It's not like, and I loved playing football at VMI. I was a practice player. I was a 159-pound nose guard and linebacker. And I tell my grandsons that was my Super Bowl. And I mean, literally, I laid it on the line and back in those days, it was all helmet to helmet. And we played, we practiced 4 days a week. And then freshmen weren't eligible. We had our own little freshman schedule, but in 1970, the NCAA said, we'll just have all that. And Virginia Tech back then gave 90 freshman scholarships. They showed up for our game with the freshmen. They had 2 full buses of players. But anyway, I told my grandsons that was my Super Bowl. And that put a lot of pressure on me. I felt, gosh, I got to go in this room with all these great players and people from VMI. And I'm some walk-on, that a Hall of Fame, but they've added a media chapter, so they kindly let me in there. They're very generous in that.
Well, no, you've earned it, my friend. My goodness gracious. You don't just write books, you write histories. That's what I like to. I mean, you go through and you learn so much, and I know how hard you work on putting all this together. And of course, the Magic Johnson book we talked about as you were building up to it, and all the research and the things you've learned. What surprised you about your journey through each of these, we'll say chapters because of the book reference? That's what I do as a host of a show, boy. I'm quick. But what has, as you learn, what has surprised you every time you dive into a new project that you learn more about, that maybe the formula, the person themselves, what keeps that kind of fresh every time you decide to dive into a topic?
I learned sort of to study the females, the mothers, because the females are the perfectionists. And I hate to get into 10-horn psychology here, but
no.
And the perfectionist, Jerry West's mother, was a ridiculous perfectionist. And, I say this, the greatness of America was the frontier. And if women weren't perfect, people died. And it was that simple. And it wasn't just people, it was family, it was children. And, my career was changed by my friendship with some key people. One of the top ones being Tex Winter, the great assistant coach of the Chicago Bulls. I mean, that guy could call him anytime. I coached basketball just so I could really understand his triangle offense. And when you have that level of information, it's really critical, whatever you're doing.
Sure.
And it's, it all, as I said in teaching journalism at Virginia Tech to my students, it's all about the quality of information you're able to get. And every Chicago Bulls game during all that, the 90s, I was teaching at Radford 2 days a week and working in Chicago on weekends or wherever the Bulls were. And the whole thing was really that you get a free press meal when you cover an NBA game. And I wouldn't have that. Tex Winter was penurious to the max. He didn't want to pay a penny for anything. So he would just come over there to get the free press meal, and I would get to do a debrief with him. I was listening to your conversation. The world has become much more managed in terms of PR. And I first saw it when Jordan reappeared playing in Washington. That was the most managed PR situation I'd ever dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
I came along when it was a bit of an open range if you had a credential. But the last thing they want, Tex Winter then went to the Lakers. And the Lakers were, they had managed before other people had. They had Jerry West, who could say all kinds of stuff. And so they really managed the PR environment in LA. And you're about to see that at Virginia Tech. And as Will pointed out there, I think that is a great little view down the road. And they don't want you talking to assistant coaches. And I had every game, Tex would sit across from me. And then before Phil Jackson ever came out of the locker room with the Bulls, Tex was over there telling me, oh, this is going on and that's going on. And that set the basis for every question I asked anybody. And it allowed me to really get to know that subject well, and it really helped me in terms of getting time with people. I remember standing in Toronto. I was up there with the Bulls, and the place is packed. Those NBA locker rooms were packed, especially during the Jordan era. There were all these foreign journalists, and Toronto's an international city, and it was packed. And I'm sitting back because the Tim Hallam, the great PR director for the Chicago Bulls, called the press corps the pig fuck. And it was a lot of older, overweight guys, most of them Caucasian, packed in, and they would beg Jordan not to conduct his post game in the locker room, because the whole crowd would just glom right onto him. It was a pretty intense scene. Same thing when I started working in Boston with Bird before I went to Chicago. But Jordan wouldn't do it. He'd have one of these $1,000 suits. And I realized he loved the intimacy of that. And that was part of his appeal. But it was crazy to cut through that. I was in Toronto, and I noticed that Pippen came out of the shower post-game first. And the whole media crowd, it was moths to a flame. It was crazy to watch that formation around Pippen at his locker. And I said, well, Jordan will come out of there next. And Jordan came out of that locker room and had to walk about 40 feet across. And so I got a one-on-one with him, just walking across the locker room. I was telling this story to somebody the other day, and he looked at me and said, did he have on a towel? I said, hell, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he did. There were women in the locker room. But the important point was, I got to ask him a question. It was a question that was refined through the mind of Tex Winter. And Tex had coached Jordan longer than anyone. And there's always these wars going on behind the scenes. And Tex and Jordan were in this war. Here's this old guy from he was World War II. He was a pole vaulter. Tex was a real character. And he and Jordan would go at it, and Tex would sneak up behind. Jordan would sneak up behind Tex in practice and yank down his shorts and everything. Tex's bare butt sticking out of his jock strap. Jordan was doing everything he could, because Jordan Phil, it was a mind games atmosphere. But Jordan was this really fierce guy, and Tex was challenging him. And Jordan realized that Texas offense would be the solution to their success. But all this stuff was happening. But that knowledge from Tex Winter, the assistant coach, I remember asking Jordan a question that day that Tex had put in my mind in one way or another. And he stopped and looked at me in the middle of that locker room and tilted an eyebrow at me like he could. And the next thing you know, when we flew to Dallas, he gave me 12 minutes before the game. And then he gave me 60 minutes after practice. This is one-on-one. Now, that locker room is packed with the most powerful reporters in the business. And that was the power of forming relationships with an assistant coach, right, especially one of the stature of Tex Winter. And that changed my life because the quality, I spent the spring with Virginia Tech football. Fascinating time. I was doing a story for the Roanoker, and the Roanoker published this cover story. I called it "Love in the Time of Nil." And I was quoting the university president, Tim Sands. He says it's not sustainable. And the thing you keep in mind about Virginia Tech, and every university, they're operating 2 sports franchises, 3 when you consider women's basketball. And I don't know how many more nil payments they're going to have to make in other sports. I'm sure baseball is close, and it's probably already there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was amazed. I went to the Virginia Tech basketball game Sunday and sat behind the University of Maryland Eastern Shore bench and just observed the whole thing. When I was covering the football program in the spring, I didn't ask a question. First of all, when you come in as an outsider, the last thing you want to do is steal the time from the beat writers. I learned that in the NBA long ago. You really have to work around the edges. But Virginia Tech and all these other universities are operating this batch of pro sports teams. The first thing you cannot do is let another sports franchise steal your players. And that happened to Virginia Tech. When you look at what LSU did, and I think another, the University of Mississippi, they took the veteran talent and leadership. They eviscerated that program on the offensive line and in the secondary. And in the future, that won't happen. If you've got that money, and it's absurd, there's not the money there to keep doing this. My line in the magazine was, you got to have an oil well in the fan base to operate like that. Right. And even that's not enough. Probably a casino. Virginia Tech would have to put up a casino if they could get the money off the casino that they're talking about putting in Roanoke, or they probably could do it that way. But it's not sustainable. I said that in the article, and I was just quoting Tim Sands. That was a very prescient, brave thing for a university president to say, especially in a community. And let's face it, Virginia Tech is the major economic engine for our entire region.
Yes,
all of Roanoke is operating off that Carillion connection there, that there have been a succession of losses dating back decades. I was a news reporter for the Roanoke Times. I was not a sports guy. Now, I had the great blessing of being a 23-year-old varsity head coach at Blacksburg High School, coaching an incredibly good wrestling team. And and a lot of my high school didn't have wrestling, but at VMI and Phys Ed, we had a very stringent boxing and wrestling.
Yeah.
Course. And if I hadn't had that wrestling course, I wouldn't have gotten hired for that job, and I wouldn't have been able to go in there. That was when Virginia Tech had a state championship team, and I inherited a hell of a lot of good athletes, but I had to go in there and wrestle those guys. Who was boss? I mean, it's just you can't do it otherwise. And I was young and able to do that. And the whole thing in all this is, though, this is a region. It's all deeply connected. It really loves sports. The spectacle of a Virginia Tech game is a whole card for Virginia Tech. And out of state tuition, Alabama, I've been an editor at Lindy's at their pro basketball magazine. I'm there every August in Birmingham. And Lindy is a lawyer who went to the University of Alabama. He took me to an Alabama home game, I don't know, about a decade ago. It is, my jaw just dragged to the entire, it was crazy. All the whole scene. And the out-of-state tuition, they got more out-of-state kids at the University of Alabama than they do in-staters.
Yeah, that's crazy, but you're right. Yeah.
And they're raking in tens of millions, up close to 100 million, I've been told. It's kind of fuzzy on those things, but it's a big thing for Virginia Tech out-of-state tuition, which means it's a big thing for all of us, because part of the mojo, a big part of the mojo, is the party, is that spectacle, is jumping up and down and Enter Sandman and that whole pagan ritual.
Yeah.
And it is snared ESPN.
Yeah.
These are pro sports franchises. The college football game, when I was a freshman at VMI was 1-10. They were playing a lot of money games, like Maryland Eastern Shore at Virginia Tech was there because they were being paid to be there.
Correct.
And the varsity program, to watch the deterioration at VMI, because if I'm on the roster and I weigh 159 pounds, the starting varsity center at VMI, I went against him every day, weighed 220 pounds. I just hit him. It was all hit him helmet to helmet and slide one way or the other.
Yeah.
But if that program is flying everywhere and playing Division I for money, they're getting beat up. It's quite a spectacle to see that. But that money has to come from somewhere. And they're not even paying the players. But back then, after that loss, those alums would come in and give those starting varsity players a $50 handshake. That was the way they did it back in the day.
Absolutely.
And now, for context on that, when I was 15, I started unstopping sewers on the sewer and water crew for the town of Whitfield for $1.30 an hour. I took home $27.50 a week take home pay. Now, that was worth 4 master's degrees to me. I was my old man was an insurance agent. We had a country club membership. I went from some little snotty-nosed kid to driving front end loaders and dump trucks. I didn't even have a driver's license. I didn't care, but it brought me into the real world. And that $50 handshake for those players was 2 weeks almost of take-home pay.
Sure.
Today, that would be, I don't know, $1,000 each, $2,000 each week per player. That's nothing. The money's much bigger than that. The funny thing to me in all this is based on a nil ruling from the Supreme Court, which is your name, image, and likeness.
Right.
These kids couldn't make that much money in this advertising market.
No chance.
This is pay for play. This is not nil. And I think college sports, college athletics is loved enough where some really smart ass lawyer is going to file a lawsuit and say, look, this ruling, this is beyond the pale. There are no rules in place. We are not paying people name, image, likeness money. We are paying them to play. And if it can flip on a legal ruling, you can flip back enough to allow college athletics to survive. And if the politicians can't see that, I never had a 2.0 average in college. They let me go at VMI. I finally got to a 1.997. And so if a smooth brain such as myself can look at this, and as far as protecting players, the NFL already knows how to stop tampering. It's a few simple rules to put teeth in that. If you put teeth in something, you stop tampering and you say, okay, yeah, you can accept some nil money. What are they going to pay you in Western Virginia? Now, it's going to mean that New York City might be the rise of college football.
Well, true. Very true.
You don't know, but name, image, likeness is basically product endorsement money.
It is. It is. Before we let you go, Roland, I was just listening to you talking about Jordan. Is there any doubt that he is the most important entity that has ever happened to that league and continues to be so? Michael Jordan, the absolute most important thing that's ever hit that league.
He's one of the first people I'm going to thank in my Hall of Fame speech. My Jordan book, Michael Jordan, The Life's in 24 languages.
That's unbelievable.
I was a college instructor for
24. Wow.
I was a college instructor most of my life. You know, they had me full time at $31,000 a year. They brought me in at Radford in 1991 92 for the 92-93 school year. Now, at $31,000, I was making more than most of the PhDs. I filled a slot operated by a PhD when they hired me in a hurry. And that really upset everybody. And so they eventually moved me to full-time, part-time. They paid me $20,000 a year to teach 5 courses each semester. I taught 27 different courses at Radford. But my point is, I wasn't making any money. At Virginia Tech, they never paid me more than $40,000 a year. And I taught a lot of students there. I was an instructor, which is sort of like a master sergeant. But the point in all this is Michael Jordan funded my retirement. He is a global phenomenon. Nobody cared about the NBA.
No.
People ask me to name the 5 greatest players. You couldn't get me to say that. I'm not going to be some guy sitting on the sideline while people are laboring 15, 20 years in the NBA. As that grind that it is night in, night out. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, I know he's number 1, he's number 2. You will not get me to say that. But Jordan, as an economic engine, everybody owes him. I don't care who it is. And I want to say this. I'm going in with Michael Vick, and I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, I came to Virginia Tech in 1999. You electrified that place.
Changed it all forever.
And the mission for Virginia Tech is to try all that $229 million, whatever it is. The whole thing is aimed at finding another Michael Vick. Now, I sat in Jerry West's office with him and I know I'm running over time, but I got to give you this pearl of wisdom from Jerry West.
Sure.
And I said, how are you going to find the next Magic? When Magic had to abruptly retire with the HIV diagnosis. And he admitted to me then something that would come out later. He admitted he wasn't sure about drafting Magic the first time with the number 1 overall pick. That was really the folly that turned great by these guys that didn't really know basketball. And Jerry wanted to draft Sidney Moncrief, who was a great player.
Great player, yeah.
But Jerry West told me this. He said, you can sit and look at a player and you can see everything they can do on the floor or on the field. If you're a talent evaluator and you know what you're doing, and the talent evaluation is a really flaky business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can look at what they can do. He said the one part you cannot read is their hearts. I asked Brent Pry about that. I told him that story. He looked at me. He said, well, you better be able to read their hearts. And he was correct. But you don't know. You don't know greatness. You have to look at what they can do. And you have to study that. And you have to get a sense for them as people. But all of this is about, if you're going to run a pro sports franchise, which is what all these colleges are signing on to do, it's going to create a madness for talent. We're already there.
We're there. Well, it's great stuff, man. I need to get you on more often. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to find out how that night went. I can't wait to hear your speech. And I want to get.
Give me 8 minutes. I gave the worst speech in the history of VMI athletics. Because I'll tell you what happens. They have an open bar with these things.
Well, yeah.
That's the enemy of anybody who's ever got to open their mouth publicly.
Well, I want to hear what goes into the speech. When post-speech, I want to go in. I want to hear everything that went into this. That's going to be awesome.
I have a lot of people to thank, obviously. They don't let people like me in the halls of fame very often. So I have a lot of people to thank.
Well, you've earned it, my friend.
Thank you.
You've made an impact on the sports, not only sports journalism, anybody who's writing a sports book. I guarantee you they research how you went about your madness, as you called it once to me. There's no question. You've revitalized, you revolutionized that in a lot of ways. You did. You have. So.
Well, I had a lot of help.
You have.
Whatever I did, and I have no idea what I did other than write. Way too many words, but whatever I did, I had a lot of help.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Let's do this again. Now that you're used to the format, man, we got to do this more often.
Here we are. It's a good deal. You're set up right for it.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. Congratulations. Remind people when the ceremony is again, because I know people are going to want to follow it and watch it.
It's my father's 110th birthday, and everything I did, I came to realize after writing Michael Jordan, The Life, I did for my old man, Hopper Lazenby, from Wytheville, Virginia. And it is April 25th, 2026.
All right. We'll definitely do this, hopefully, a few more times before then. So
thank you, Rick.
Let's plan. Have a great holiday, my friend.
You do the same.
All right. There you go. Roland Lazenby. All right. Hall of Famer, ladies and gentlemen. Roland. How great was that? That guy. If you haven't read that Jordan book, I've read the Jerry West book. I got that from my dad. My dad, his favorite player of all time was Jerry West. And I have his copy. Yeah. I want to thank the Ready Set Fund, ReadySetFund.com. Thanks to Bob Chris. Send him an email, bobchris11@gmail.com if you have any more questions or comments. Thanks to Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated. Jen the Gamecock Girl going to join us next. Family owned and operated, garage doors better than anybody. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, BDST, here on YouTube. That's true. Coach O'Mation sending wisdom. The eyes are the pathway to the heart, bright or dull. Speaking of finding out heart when you're trying to recruit. Brent Pry may have said that about evaluating, but he wasn't a very good evaluator. Ryan Pry is the attorney out in Radford, 701 West Main Street. Sponsor our BDST fan question of the week. Thanks to Ryan. The River Heating and Air. Thanks to Charles Lee. And all that great crew. You need them now more than ever during the cold months. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment is the presenting sponsor of this program. Couldn't do it without them. Thanks so much to everybody up there, Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller in particular. Great people. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Reiner. Thanks so much to Jason Green, 540-200-8294. And Mark Hundley, McClellan Chiropractic over in Christiansburg. Right off of Peppers Ferry Road, sponsor of our wonderful chat room here. It was good stuff, Thunder. That was really good, really good. Thanks to Harvey's GM in Radford, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, and thanks to the NRV Super Bowl and Montgomery County Chamber, Brandon at Top Shelf. Who else? Did I leave anybody out? Thanks to all your own. If you want a t-shirt, $20, by the way, locally here, hit me up. You don't get a chance to talk to a guy like Roland Lazenby that often, and I appreciate it. It's been a great week. We have great weeks a lot, but this week has been, I think the things we've unearthed, it always starts on Monday with Coach Elmo and Todd Grantham. Then we go right into Marty and Rags and things that come out there. Then we get Matt Roan taking us in behind. All the stuff, man. Just awesome stuff about the whole Bob Chesney, Billy Napier, and how open he was about that. And then, of course, you get all of our great guests on Thursday, and Dwight Vick. And then today, you get to see David Smith again. And this is all about those people, not about me. I don't do a damn thing. But it's great. It's great, man. We're Roland Lazenby. Jeez Louise. And now this beauty right here joining us on the program, Jen the Gamecock Girl. I mean, what a way to head into the weekend. My goodness gracious.
It doesn't seem right that you talked about Roland Lazenby and then me. Not really parallel. He's such an epic figure in worldwide sports. And then here I am in my hotel room in Chicago.
Lots of people are enamored by your epic figure. Huh? See what I did there? So, not real happy with you.
Wait, why?
Huh?
Why am I in the doghouse?
Well, two reasons actually. There's two reasons why you're in the doghouse. One, didn't see any evidence of you and Holly hanging out together. You promised.
You
and then I find
it. Yeah. You liked it. You hearted the picture I posted.
That doesn't count. I'm not talking about some random social media post. I wanted personalization. Okay.
Oh, you want your own picture that no one else sees?
Correct.
Okay.
And then Will spills the beans. Apparently, you're just sending him random pictures of things he likes. I understand you buy a Diet Mountain Dew machine, and now you still send Will a picture. You guys are just secretly picture swapping. Okay, that's great.
Do you feel that I've violated your trust?
Well, I just feel like, I mean, look, I know that you are the wild beast that can't be tamed. It's part of the whole relationship that makes this so worthwhile. But, just like a little from time to time. That's all right.
So do you want me to send the same picture I posted in my story to you? Or you
No, it's not the same now. I'm having to ask for it, having to beg almost. I know you like that, but I
do like when you beg. What's wrong with that? Not a thing.
I guess not. Will says don't drag him into this. But anyway, you're into it, baby. You're into it, Will. You're part of this.
He's already part of this discussion. He can't back out.
You're drugged, baby. You're drugged. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you now? You're in Chicago, is that correct? I see your hotel decor. Okay. And this is an actual recruiting thing. This is actual your job. Wow, who knew? Breaking news.
It is, and I've been doing some alumni relations kind of work. Yesterday, I had a meeting at 6:45 a.m. here, and I went until 10:30 p.m. last night. We had an alumni meetup picture. We do an annual picture. We sing our alma mater. So I get to see a lot of our recent and older alumni at that event.
To hear that. Why don't you hum a few bars? What is the South Carolina alma mater song?
I can't sing right now, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ask not to, and the reason is it's so dry up here, and I just woke up, and it is very dry. It's a totally different climate, as you know, and the heat is cranking. And I think I heard you do the little. I've got a little myself from the dry. Yeah. So now is not a good time for me to sing, but I will provide you, if you would like a private text with the alma mater link, I will be happy to do that.
Private Text with Jen. It's a brand new offset program here on the Big Dog channel. Join us late night. Well, my voice thing happened because we got back from Williamsburg. Highlanders fell a little short, and I'm going on 2 hours of sleep, but I'm here. So yay! You proud of me?
Well, at least you just get out of bed and get downstairs, right?
Yeah, it makes a big difference not to have to jump in the car, drive down to the station, and dodge deer the whole time. Yeah, it made a big difference. Just kind of staggering down the stairs. Hey, everybody, good morning. Yeah.
I mean, for me, there's my bed I slept in right behind me. So, I get out, put on a little bit of makeup, brush the hair, and I'm ready.
Slept in. All right.
You're getting a little punch drunk right now.
I am. You're getting a lot of real Rick right now. Watch out.
Okay, I like unfiltered Rick. I can handle
it. So what's your travel schedule? You're going to miss college football tonight? You're going to miss the first playoff game?
No, I am not. I'm traveling back tomorrow. I think.
But there's 3 tomorrow.
I know, but I can watch on the plane. I should be on biggie planes that have Wi-Fi. I don't like that sometimes when I'm on a more regional flight and I can't get any Wi-Fi. So
biggie planes, I like that.
I will be able to keep in touch with the world, so that'll be good.
What is the schedule tomorrow? Let me see here.
I actually don't know. I've been working so much here. I have not stayed on top of any of it.
The best game is probably the first one. That's the Miami Texas A&M game. I'm thinking Miami might win that game.
Well, obviously I'm cheering for the SEC, as you know. What time is the game?
Nooner.
Okay.
Something you know a lot about.
You were sassy and mouthy today. I love it. Well, that'll be 11 a.m. my time. I'm going to get in a little, my plan for tomorrow is to get in a gym visit, pack up, check out, go to the airport.
Go Canes. Go Canes. Then 3:30, Tulane and Ole Miss. That's a rematch. Ole Miss has already beat them up once. Yeah. And then, of course, look, I know James Madison, there's nobody. There are a lot of people say they shouldn't even be in the game, in the playoffs, and I'll disagree with that all day. Don't punish them for the system being what it is, right? They played their way into it, as Matt Rohn told us on Wednesday. And they're going to Oregon, and I know they're 21.5-point dogs, whatever it is. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's the story that matters and the opportunity. And I'm going to be rooting from them as hard as any team that I've pulled for in a long time in college football. And I hope they can go up there and hang in there against Oregon. Won't be easy at Autzen, but that's going to be a lot. You'll be back by then, right? So you can kind of settle in and watch your Commonwealth squad.
What time's kickoff?
7:30.
Yeah, it should be. I'll be back. I think I get back around 5. Is that right? I got to check on that. I think 5.
And
I love JMU's band, so I'm excited for them.
Yeah, they are good.
A big trip out there and have a little reward themselves. So that's cool for their program. That's a big deal.
Isn't the Oregon band pretty well known, or am I just imagining that wrong? Are they not?
They're good, but I think JMU's band takes that matchup.
Well, and what nobody can ever take away, they are the first team from the Commonwealth to play in the college football playoff. Doesn't matter if they're from the ACC like Tech and Virginia. Doesn't matter about anything else. They are the team that broke the crest, right? They're the ones who broke through. And no one can ever change that. Doesn't matter how much you try to criticize it, how much you try to quantify it. James Madison football qualifies for the playoff before Virginia Tech or Virginia.
Very cool for their alumni and the whole school. Great thing for them. I'm sure their application numbers are way up.
That's what he was saying. Yeah. And the donations.
Mm-hmm.
He said they're getting, this is what it does, man. The publicity they're going to get. And I have a feeling they're going to handle themselves a lot better than the last time we saw a team. I take that back. Liberty that wasn't the playoff though, but they got in the bowl game against Oregon. Mm-hmm. Didn't go so well.
Yeah, I was remembering, and not a great game, but I don't remember
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
I didn't watch it until the end. I remember that. I remember I watched maybe the first quarter.
They scored first.
Yeah, okay. That's coming back to me in the memory.
They scored
Maybe
first.
first half? Were they down at the half?
I'm trying to see here. 45-6 was the final score. Yeah, it was 45-6. That was 2024. But Liberty actually scored first in that game. Oregon was number 8 in that Fiesta Bowl. Bo Nix, the current Broncos quarterback, threw 5 touchdown passes.
You didn't say his name properly. You usually say it another way.
Bo Nix.
Exactly.
Hey, Bo. You going to go coach them Broncos? Bo Nix. I'm Bo Nix.
Don't think that I'm ever going to forget that.
Well, and that's the way you would think he was going to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because his name is Bo Nick, and then you hear him talk. Well, yes, I really believe that when I'm out here playing the game of football, it's a very science. I sound like the professor on The Simpsons. That's who Bo Nick sounds.
You do sound like the professor. Actually, exactly, 100%.
Right.
Can you do any other Simpsons voices?
No. You know what I'm working on? I'm not going to do it today, so don't ask. But I'm working on my Randy Macho Man Savage impersonation.
Okay, when are we going to get to see that or hear it?
It's going to be worked on a little bit. I got inspired. I sent Wayne from Ohio. There's a guy on Instagram who I think he's already a comedian, but he's already kind of got that rough voice. And he does the best Macho Man impersonation of all time. Nobody's ever going to surpass him. I don't know his name, but it inspired me. And I realized I started doing it one day. And people were like, that's pretty good. And I'm like, I'm gonna try to hone that. So one day I'm gonna come on and do a whole segment as the Macho Man.
I think you have a lot of great impressions, so that would not surprise me. I like your Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, you should like it, Jen. Hell, nobody hired my ass. I'm out here telling people I don't want to take any money. I'm making enough money. Nobody gave me a second look. I'm washed up. I'm done.
And trying to think, you do some other good coach impressions. I'm trying to think some other high points, the ones I like.
Dan Soder. Thanks, Wayne. Dan Soder is the comedian. You need to look up Dan Soder and look at his Macho Man. Man, It's perfect. It's so good. So good. So good. But anyway, go Dukes. Go Dukes.
Yeah, it would be fun to see them representing Virginia.
It will be. It will be. So how was Holly? How'd your visit go last weekend?
Visit was great. I've just been running around a lot and
run around Sue.
But we had a great time together. And then, of course, she did my hair, which is nice. And then
looks great, by the way, as always.
Thank you. And I have been in Chicago since Tuesday. So I got back from Holly Sunday, had one day to wash clothes, unpack the warm weather clothes, put in the scarves, gloves, heavy coat, roll out again. And then I'll be back in Columbia, similar schedule, a day or two. And then I'm going to Virginia, but I'm going over to the Fredericksburg side. Sorry. I might drive back through there. I'm not totally sure yet, but I'm going to spend most of my time over in Fredericksburg.
I'm sure Will will let me know. He'll let me know what a good time you two had together.
Yeah.
If he comes to Virginia, I'm sure I know who you're going to be seeing.
Big old party without you, and then you'll get pictures.
By the way, there's a rumor, may have been pictorial evidence of you wearing the garnet leather pants in Chicago.
Not here. I wore them in Tampa.
Oh, down there with Holly. Oh, you brought out the garnet pants for Tampa Bay. Hey,
I did.
All right.
It seemed appropriate for Tampa.
Were those pretty well received? I'm guessing those got, the reaction you wanted.
Yeah, they were favorably received. And then, I did not pack them for this trip because I have to run our exhibit booth and I need a lot of business clothes for what I'm doing. And I don't have time for the garnet pant extravaganza. it's grown up professional me on the scene up here.
Now, you go to Chicago a lot in your travels, right? You've been out there several times. Do you ever go see the Silver Bean? My son went out there for his post-senior trip. He and his buds just drove out there. That was one of the, I don't know why they picked that. They went out there and they have pictures of them with the big bean. That's kind of a Have you been out there?
I have seen the bean. It's been many years ago. I've done a lot of the touristy stuff over the years. So, you know that I was a big Northwestern fan and applied there and was accepted there and almost went to school there. And it's in Evanston, which is like a 10-minute train ride from here. So it all started at Christiansburg, actually. In between my junior and senior year, I went to NU for a summer music institute that they offered for high schoolers. And I spent, I think it was 6 weeks on their campus and stayed in their dorms and stuff. So I fell in love with it then. It's a beautiful, beautiful school, but it's very, very expensive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I happened later to visit University of South Carolina and auditioned there on a whim and got a full tuition scholarship and got admitted to honors college. So I thought free might be a little bit better than what was then, I think, $25,000 a year at NU. It's now like 75 or 80 at least, I think.
Jeez.
But anyway, I have a long relationship with Chicago. I love it here. And with a last name like Jablonski, there are all these Polish peeps up here. So nobody slaughters my name. Like if I order something and I say Jablonski, there's no hesitation. They just write it down. And there are parts of it that are kind of fun and interesting. So.
Do you get stuff like, oh, you must be Danny's girl. Oh, the Jablonski. Oh, it's great to see you, sweetheart. They come up pitching your cheeks.
They're entertained usually with a Southern accent and the Polish name because they didn't realize that could happen. So that's pretty fun here. And in Baltimore, you remember I'm a member of the Polish American Club in Baltimore.
I do.
And so, you know, those people are always, they kind of get a little kick out of it.
Have you traced your heritage of what part of Poland? Have you done? I'm sure you're so thorough. Did you do all that with that? What's it called? Help me out. I'm working on 2 hours of sleep. What's that thing called?
I did 23andMe and Ancestry.com.
And there we go.
It is pretty cool. I knew I had a lot of Russian in me. Also,
wait a minute. Did you say Ancestry.com? That might be something else we need to.
Ancestry.
Oh, Ancestry.
You're a hot mess.
All right. So what did you find out? This is cool. What part of Poland are you from?
There is actually an area so my last name in Polish is pronounced Jablonski.
Jablonski.
Or Jablonska.
Oh, that's cool.
Like for women, it's
Jablonska.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Jabłońska. It depends how Americanized you want to say it. So, some like the full Polish is Jabłońska. So we did a little research, and there's a region that name comes from, and essentially it means apple in Polish. So it's an area where there are a lot of apple farms.
That's cool.
I know it is cool. But the other side of our family is Russian, and I'm learning more about that and where we're from over there and the background on that. I know a little bit more about the Polish side.
Bunch of damn communists. I knew something.
They got out. They came here.
Right. Jablonska. I like that. You're now going to be Jennifer Jablonska. Am I saying it wrong?
Are you can do the full Polish, Jabłońska.
Jabłońska?
Some people just will say Jablonski in the United States.
I like Jablonski. I'll keep that one.
Yeah, whatever. Any of it works. It's better than the ways it gets slaughtered and people try to say it and don't quite get it. And I'm like, hey, it's not that bad. It's not Tchaikovsky. It's not one of those.
Yeah. It's not one of the. Yeah, those are terrible. Mm-hmm. Paul says, now we know why Jen loves vodka. Are you a vodka lover? You are a vodka lover.
I do. I love Polish vodka.
Of course you do. It's the healthiest. It's the healthiest alcohol you can drink, right? There's very few carbs and stuff like that. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's lower calorie and a little more pure. So allegedly the hangovers are less severe, but I like my bourbon too. So
Does Jen play chess? Laughing out loud. Yeah.
because the Russian thing? Is that a Russian joke?
I must be. I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't play chess. I play basketball. Anybody want to play pickup ball? Because that would be fun.
You a basketball gal?
Mm-hmm.
Were you a basketball athlete?
Yeah, until I had to pick between that and marching band, because this is so dorky. Because I became drum major at Christiansburg, and it was during the same season. I could not do both. I played AAU at Christiansburg too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you got quite the history then.
I really love playing basketball, and I still do a lot.
Very good. Very, very good. I didn't realize all that.
Do you play basketball?
I did up until my sophomore year of high school. And then I made travel team for Joel Hicks and the Pulaski County Cougars. And once you do that, you're like, I'm just going to focus on one thing, football.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's what I did. I was a point guard. I wasn't flashy. I was pretty good. And I could pass the ball now. I could find guys. And I was a decent shooter, wasn't a great shooter.
Okay.
That was okay.
I did not know that about your past at PCHS.
Oh, yeah. That was the big deal. Making the trade. You only made, back then, we were AAA, because you grew up in this area. Pulaski County, we had, I don't know how many students. My goodness, 1,500, 1,800.
Mm-hmm.
And when you made travel team, Joel Hicks, you accomplished something. And I did. There was only like 4 or 5 of us that ever made, sophomores would ever travel and do it. And guys like Jack Turner, who beat the hell out of me every day, and Todd Grantham, who beat the hell out of me every day, taught me a lot about life and future. Yeah. And nobody messed with us. If you came to Pulaski County, you were going to lose. You know this.
I do know that. Mm-hmm.
You had no chance of winning. You came down those stairs, and Joel Hicks is getting ready to walk down and bring his football team down the stairs. You're going back with an L.
Well, that's interesting. That was such a good time for your high school because Bob Priest was the band director there, and the band was the same way. Like everywhere they went, they won the prize for the entire competition for best band in it, and just dominated everything. And they were huge.
Great dude, by the way.
Yeah, I really like him a lot.
The band, you're right. You know what? It's a great point. The band was a huge part of it. The band was into it. They were trendsetters, weren't they? For high schools felt like a college atmosphere with the band in Kenneth J. Dobson Stadium. Yeah.
Well, Bob Priest too is really the reason I'm a Gamecock, because that band program every year went to University of South Carolina to band clinic, which is a big honor band event there. And usually it's 7 or 8 states are represented there. And Christiansburg band program was going through some struggles then. And he invited me and some of the other better musicians to come down with them to go down there to that band clinic. And we went with them, and he was really sweet and introduced me to people. And so he was important in my Gamecock journey. I always be grateful for that.
Tony Powell says 2,500. Wow, we had that many students. Imagine that. 2,500 students. I knew it was huge. I knew it was massive. And I never forget when they were announced, it was always a big deal, right? You get out of training camp and coach would come in. All right, we're going to find out which one of the young fellas going to hang around. And he was announcing the list, and my name was the last one. And I just remember they came over and they did the whole bath. They throw you in the shower, pick you up, put you in the shower, and it was cool. It was cool. The initiation.
Oh, we had to do initiations for Christiansburg basketball too. And mine wasn't I think I would have preferred what you got. I had to do the worm. Do you remember the worm?
Yes. You had to do the full dance.
I had to do the full dance in front of, we had this area. I don't know how well you know Christiansburg, but at that time they had stairs when you would come in, and then there was an arena. Essentially, everybody would go to the top of the stairs and hang around the ledge and look down to the bottom floor. And the bottom floor was an open arena. And they sent me down there, everybody was hanging out in the morning, and I had to do the worm for everybody watching. And
how'd that go?
The task was completed. I would say that carpeting does not have a lot of padding, and it was concrete underneath and not the most comfortable thing.
Yeah.
I still remember that.
Yeah.
And some squashing and hurting, but I did it.
That's cool, though. That's really, really cool.
I don't know that any of those programs are doing quote unquote initiation anymore, but I got mine done.
What do you think my high school football number was?
Oh, good question. QB.
No, I was not a QB.
Oh, I thought you said you were a QB.
No, I was a Mike linebacker.
Oh, I don't know where I got that from.
Because you think everybody should be Lenore Sellers, I guess. You're a hero of life.
What number?
I share the same number with Travis Williams from Professional Door Incorporated, which I didn't realize until I went up there one day and he's got picked. Hey, man, you stole my number. He goes, that's my number. It was great.
What was your number?
Who's the greatest defensive football player in the history of the National Football League?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. I'm trying to think who that would be.
He played college football at North Carolina. He wore the number 98 at North Carolina. He didn't wear the number 98 in the
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Have I failed, or am I going to get kicked off the show?
I think maybe so. Who ended up being responsible for shattering the career of Joe Theismann?
Oh, I've definitely blocked that out of my mind because that would make me so sad. I don't know, actually. I mean,
that would be Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Number 56.
Okay.
And my position coach and what was essentially the associate, I guess you could call him associate head coach, Randy Flincham, was going over the numbers. Like, all right, get over here, freshman, get over here, guys. You know, we were last because we just made the team, right? We made travel, and he always called me Pat Watson. He coached with a great coach, Pat Watson. So on purpose, Coach Flincham, hey, there comes Pat Watson. There comes big Pat Watson. What number you want? Well, hang on. He gave me 52. 52? This is before Ray Lewis, right? And all that. I don't want 52. I want 51 or 56. I want Butkus or I want Lawrence Taylor. 51 had gotten taken. And 56 was left. So he let me swap it out, and I got to wear 56 because of Lawrence Taylor. I didn't play like Lawrence Taylor, but that's why I wore the jersey. There you go.
Okay, that's a good story. I mean, but that shows how influential those athletes are on all.
Oh, yeah.
I was 23 before Michael Jordan. I just want you to know that. And I'm sure I was instrumental in him picking 23 later. But at Christiansburg, I've got pictures of that if you need to see it.
Well, we just talked about Roland, right? He just said it. There's nobody. The reason Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time goes beyond just basketball. He already is the greatest player of all time, but his impact. So there you go. There's that influence. I mean, whatever it might be, Michael Vick changed the game of football forever. Forever. Not just Virginia Tech and that community, but that position at quarterback. They've been trying to find the next one, and they can't.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a next Michael Vick. He doesn't exist. I'm sorry. He doesn't exist. And now, we're talking about Lawrence Taylor, and I don't care how many great defensive players have come after. There's nobody who changed the game more than Lawrence Taylor. You remember the great 49ers coach, Bill Walsh?
A little. I was very obsessed with Washington. So as you can tell, my focus of old school NFL is always going to be Washington. And so sorry, I've got limited outside.
No, it's all right. Well, real quick, he was the greatest offensive mastermind of all time. Everybody you see in the NFL now is running some kind of offshoot of Bill Walsh's West Coast offense with the 49ers and Joe Montana. Kind of like in college basketball, everybody's running John Wooden stuff at UCLA. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, it's the same thing with the NFL. And he had a game book, and then he would pull out another book, and all it had on it was Lawrence Taylor. He had a separate game plan when they would play the Giants to try to stay the hell away and keep Lawrence Taylor from having minimal impact on the game. He said it was the only time in his life he had a separate, scouting report for one guy as opposed to the team. Enough said.
How flattering. We should all aim to be so good at our jobs that there's a book just for us, right?
Well, you clearly are.
Well, I try to be. I really do take a lot of pride in my work. So,
well, you should.
I think that's a good inspiration for all of us, no matter what we do, to think about.
Correct. Well, you're always proper inspiration for all of us, Jen.
Well, I mean, I don't know how inspiring it is to a normal person, but in the band world, music world, we have to find our own happiness in it, because the rest of the world is like, what are you doing? I don't really understand.
All right, real quick, who wins tonight? Oklahoma, Alabama.
Whew. I don't know. Both of those teams have had some weakness.
Low scoring game, I think. Both defenses are really good.
Correct. I'm trying to remember who I picked in our pick'em, which I don't think I'm doing that great in that.
I'm not either.
I don't know if I believe enough in Oklahoma. I think I'm going to say Alabama, but I don't have any confidence in that at all.
And I'm sure you're going Oregon and Ole Miss on picks, but who's going to win Miami, Texas A&M?
Well, I want Texas A&M to win for the SEC reason. And I do think they're really well coached. I think they could do it. They already had their choke with the Texas game. So I think they're going to be able to regroup from that. It always makes me concerned when they win undefeated, but they've already taken the hit. So
I think the Canes might get them. I don't know why I feel that way. They have so much talent. They're so big up front. They got a chip on their shoulder too. The Go Canes. I'm pulling for Miami tomorrow. Go Canes.
Okay. All right, so let's bet on that game, because that's the one I feel best about of the ones we talked about. So what is our bet?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I'm taking Miami. You're taking Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm. If I win,
you need to come up with the bet. I don't have the mind this morning. 2 hours of.
I'll send you some kind of Cox shirt or hoodie that you have to wear, but it has to be.
This is a family show, Jen.
On camera, it has to be prominent.
Oh, okay.
I have to be able to see it the whole entire show.
Okay.
That you have to wear on your chest proudly, Cox.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. The very next time you're on, I'll make sure I'll have it on, or however many times I'm supposed to wear it. I don't know what do you get? I don't know what I can send you.
I don't know. Like you haven't come up with anything. So
this is good. Here it is. You ready?
Okay.
If you lose, you have to reprise the worm for our audience. That's great. Perfect, TLB.
No, I can't. I mean, how am I going to get that filmed? And
you work on it. You own one of your little business with Holly. Y'all can do some pre-filming. I don't know. Sure, that happens anyway.
I guess I could come up with something for that. What is the time frame, though?
I don't know. We'll give you time to do it. We'd give you time to do it. You know what? I know what we do. You come up. I get to pick. It will make it easier for you. If I win, if Miami wins, the next time you're on, you have to come up. You have to have your saxophone, and you have to play a song that I choose. You can give me the list of songs that you're comfortable with, and I'll choose one. How's that?
All right. So you get a set list.
I get a set list, and then I get to pick my favorite from the set list. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay. I can do that.
Okay. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wearing South Carolina gear, or you're going to be playing my selection.
No, let's be very specific. I want you to have a Cox thing on.
Okay. Well, you choose it. You choose it, and I'll wear it. That's fine.
Okay. And
that's all you.
For an entire show.
Yeah, for the whole show. I'll have it on the whole show. Yeah.
And it's prominent in viewing of the.
Yeah.
I don't want it hidden. Okay.
No, it'll be like you see the Radford Athletics.
Yeah,
so it would be like. But make sure you get it across the chest, because if it's I don't know where else I could with the way the camera is. So
okay.
All
right. Deal. Let's go Aggies. Let's get it.
Let's go Canes. Let's Go.
And you're going to send me a shirt from BDST.
Yeah, I've got those. What'd you say? Small or medium? What'd you say? Large, medium?
No, never small for me.
Okay.
never like since birth, never.
Yeah, you are. Well, you're tall. Medium?
Medium. Let's try that.
Large or medium? I mean, either one. I'm just worried about the shrink factor because it is cotton. I haven't heard anybody say they've shrunk too much, but you just let me know.
Okay.
I got them both.
All right.
I got them all. All right. Well, listen, great stuff. We'll see how it goes tonight and this weekend. Have fun and be safe in your travels. When are you flying back? Sunday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Afternoon.
Tomorrow.
At some point, yeah.
All right. And Will promised that he'll engage in the text messages with us somehow this weekend. So there you go.
Will said that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought you were so concerned that you wanted the private texting. So I guess you're okay with the Will cast. Right.
No, I mean I'm still making my request for the private text, but if he wants to do, if he wants to initiate his own thing, sure, we'll be part of it.
Okay. Well, I hope you're gonna get some rest. Is that next for you?
Yeah, that's next. Yeah, I do have to go into Radford a little later, but yeah, that's got to be next. 2 hours isn't going to cut it.
No, don't do that.
Can't do that.
Mm-mm. And you don't want to get sick with the traveling.
I know. I'm feeling a little. You feel like because your immune system gets down, right? Without sleep, you got to build it back up, and that's
okay. Before you leave, I need to tell you something, and everyone needs to hear this. I call it Sicky Protocol. It's my version of concussion protocol, but it's for when you feel sickies coming on. That I'm convinced works.
Okay.
The first thing is there's a supplement. It's called NAC, and it's short for something. And I don't know the full chemical name of what it's short for. But you need to take that 3 times a day. You can buy it at CVS.
NAC?
NAC.
Okay.
North AC.
Got it.
And then I'm sorry, I don't know what that stands for, but it's a supplement. You take that 3 times a day, and you take zinc. Pound the zinc. And that is going to really help you. But you have to do it right now when you're on the front end of it.
Well, I don't have any here. I will tell you, when I take my nappy and I get up, I'll look for some zinc and
text your fiance and tell her she don't want the sicky. She don't want you all sicky either, and doing all the around her.
Yeah, I hate that. It's the worst thing in the world.
She doesn't want you have to wadded up Kleenex next to your bed.
Oh, hang on. Let me show you something real quick. Where else we go here? Remember, I told you you're a kitty gal too, and I told you did I mention I had to operate on Balboa?
No,
because he had a cyst. They had an abscess. Look at this. See right there. See see the hole in his shoulder.
Oh gosh, now I do. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, as you can tell. Yeah. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's over here laying down now. He's healing. It's not. I've been checking on it. Yeah, it was an abscess that he kind of did something. It's the second time he's done it. I had to do it before. See, there's 2 incisions I had to make there.
Yeah.
I grew up, doing that on the farm. We had to do that with our cattle, and so I kind of know how to treat it. It's something that happens, and then it has to get to a certain crescendo. And he woke me up a few days ago, and he wasn't there, and it was really hard. And when you got to cut into it, and it kind of blows up.
You did it yourself?
Yeah.
You did it?
Yeah. With my dad's trusty pocket knife. Yeah. I saved myself about $1,500. It's the second time I've done it. Yeah, and I've got the antiseptic and so forth.
Okay.
And yeah.
Is that altruic for your cat, or?
Yeah, he's good now. He's good to go. Yeah.
Oh, but like having something done without any. I'm assuming you don't have anything to put him under for any kind of.
No, there's no. It was just put on the gloves.
And was he okay with that? I guess is my question. Was he?
Hell no. Okay. He's not okay, but he does know because it happened before, and he had that violent hunter's bite going. Mm-hmm. But when he got ready to clamp down, he stopped. And that's how he tells you, this is pissing me off, but I know you have to do it.
Wow.
I know it has to be done.
Okay. My cat, Jazz, she's a bit of a diva. I don't think that would go well for either one of us. So I would probably just cough up the 1,500.
That's what TP said. We country boys, Jen, we treat our own livestock pets. Yeah, but if I didn't know how to do it, I wouldn't do it. But I had to do it growing up with Dad on other animals, so I know how it works.
Yeah, they're tough. I would have no knowledge of how to handle that. And you see, Cass is really pretty. She's a fancy looking cat.
Oh, she's fancy. She's got to have her mom's personality, y'all. She's fancy smancy.
High maintenance. Now, she was a rescue.
High maintenance.
And she'll remind me that she's a scrappy rescue sometimes with her biting behavior, but I think she's the prettiest cat in the SEC.
Oh, there's no question. She'd be number one if you did a list. Yeah, there's no question.
Absolutely. She's a SEC champion.
Absolutely. Yeah, she is. She's lovely. She's a lovely girl. She really is.
Thanks. She likes you too. She likes the pen.
No, he's doing fine. He's good. No infection. I checked it again this morning. So he's good.
Okay, he's there with you in the studio?
Yeah, he was on camera right at the beginning. He jumped up here. He hadn't been able to jump up on things. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, he jumped up right at the beginning of the show.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that you could perform cat surgery. So I've learned some things about you today. 56, cat surgery, locker room initiation.
You're more enamored now than ever before, aren't you?
I'm getting in it even deeper.
See? Aren't you so glad you met me? Aren't you so glad you met me back in whenever it was, 2003?
I'm glad. The first time I called the show, you were so friendly and welcoming. You were just great.
What are you saying? What does that mean? What are you insinuating? I'm not friendly and welcoming now?
No,
and not great?
No, I'm praising you because it was from the start. I was enamored because you were so kind to me. And I called into the show about something about college football, and you were very friendly and sweet to me.
And then I said, hey, you know what? She's really good. My producer goes, she's really good. I said, yeah, you think she'd want to do this more often? I don't know. I'll ask. And I think you'd given me your number. And sure enough, she said yes. She said yes. Yay.
It was fun. You made it fun. Because sometimes I hear radio hosts of sports shows who are kind of mean to their callers, and especially to women. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. And, you've never been like that to me or anybody else.
The one thing I'm proudest of is I've never tried to make any show I've ever done about me. I'm the constituent, whatever, the conduit, but I'm not the reason the show exists. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, and I agree. Like, there are times I've said things that were wrong and stupid on the show by accident, and you've never corrected me, which is kind of you. But then later I'm like, oh gosh, I totally screwed that up. And you didn't say anything. And I could tell that you knew when I listened to the replay, because you were like, but you didn't say anything.
You're just glad you're glad I don't sit around and use the radio voice. You know, sometimes when guys get a microphone, this is how they want to talk. Hey, welcome. How are you? Good morning. Flying by high this morning here on a Friday, headed to the weekend. Yeah.
I can't listen to a normal radio show and ever with that kind of voice person. But again, you don't humiliate your guests. And I mean, there've been so many times you could have made me look really dumb in our show, and you've never taken the opportunity. I do a good job making myself look dumb.
No, you never do. You never do.
I'm grateful for that. And I think you're awesome at what you do. So thank you for including me.
Right. Always. You're always included. Total Jen inclusion.
Can't wait to see you in that Cox shirt. You're going to look great.
Can't wait to hear you play my favorite song of your set list.
You want Careless Whisper? That could be fun.
that may be what we do. Yeah, I thought about that. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Actually, I played that at Christiansburg. That was one of my first pop things I learned at Christiansburg.
Yeah, I think that might be the way we go. We'll see. Because you're going to lose. You're going to lose that bet.
We'll find out soon.
Yep. All right. Have a great time today and safe travels, and go Dukes tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And go Canes.
No. Aggies.
No.
And always Cox.
Huh?
Always Gamecocks too, even when times are tough.
I understand. All right. Be safe, and we'll by the way, Merry Christmas. We won't be doing a show next Wednesday or Thursday.
Do you want to?
I won't be. You can jump on Friday. If you're available next Friday, let me know.
Okay, I can do it Friday if you want it, but if
let's do it. No, I'll be here Friday, so jump on. Will can't be on, so we'll have even more time together.
Oh, that's another time. This is 2 times now I've been on when Will has shunned you.
Yeah.
So you
totally shunned. Totally shunned.
I'm the favored guest, not
correct. All right. Well, yeah, we'll do next Friday. We'll do next Friday.
I'll see you then.
Perfect. All right. You stay safe.
Thank you.
All right. Be good. Be a good girl. No chance. No chance of that happening. All right. Be good. Take care. There she goes. Jen the Gamecock Girl. Great stuff today. Thanks to all of our guests. David Smith got us off to a great start. Will Stewart from Tech Sideline. Roland Lazenby. Great to see Roland. Jen the Gamecock Girl. And you. Enjoy the playoffs. They start tonight. Everybody have fun. Thanks for stopping by and keeping me awake this morning. It's bedtime now. Thanks to all of our great sponsors once again. Please subscribe, like, and share our channel. Thanks to all the newbies that jumped in today. And we'll see you on Monday. Talk about round 1 of the playoffs. Take care, everybody. Be good.